Welcome on into week number 2 of the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series. We are at Mansfield Stadium this week for the West Side Bowl. It's Madison West and Madison Memorial. I'm Rich Reynolds along with former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez. And Mark, this was a competitive game last year. A lot is always on the line when these two teams face each other. One coming off a win, one coming off a tough loss. This is a big game for both of them on their schedule. It's only week 2, but if either one wants to make the playoffs, this is a game I think both teams have to have.
Certainly, and these teams are battling for the middle of the pack in the Big 8. This is actually the home field for both teams right now. They want to protect their own turf here, and they're going to both look to get a win tonight.
Yeah, and very big, again, to get to that middle of the pack, getting to 5 wins to get to the playoffs. And again, when you look at the schedule and some of the teams that they're going to have to face along the way, it can be a little bit tough. Speaking of one of those tough teams, Madison Memorial ran into one of those last week against Middleton, a 36-7 loss. If you're Coach Smith, how do you get your team to bounce back here in week 2?
Well, you certainly want to get your offense on track. They run a spread-out attack on offense. They throw the ball pretty well. They got good speed on the outside. They got to get their quarterback in rhythm, get the receivers catching some balls out in space, make some things happen, get their offense rolling a little bit.
And their offense going to be hard-pressed to get it going against a Regent defense. They pitched a shutout last week, 28-0 against Beloit Memorial, against one of the top wide receivers in the state. So Madison West might stack up pretty well against that high-powered offense.
They're feeling really good. Anytime you pitch a shutout in high school football, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. So Madison West has got to be feeling good about defense and excited about what they can do against this Memorial spread offense.
Couple of trophies on the line as well. We're going to talk about that. Not only our trophy, there's another one as well, isn't there?
There certainly is. It's Bert Hobley's clipboard. He was a longtime coach for Madison West and on the west side of Madison as a whole. And these two schools play for that clipboard every year. And at the end of the game, they'll share that and they'll share ours.
We will uncover that story and much, much more. We're going to talk to both head coaches. That is coming up. So don't go anywhere as you are locked into the 10 Pin Alley pregame show right here in 57 Sports. 10 Pin Alley pregame show rolling along right now from Mansfield Stadium. We get set for the West Side Bowls. We talk now with the head coach of the Madison West Regents, Brad Murphy. And guys got off to a great start last week, 28-0. How about that defensive effort pitching a shutout?
Yeah, our kids, they really showed their mettle last week. I thought our senior leaders on the defense really stepped up for us. We've had high hopes for them. We knew we had a lot of returning guys on that side of the ball. And it showed last Friday, so that was huge for us and wanted to get our season off to the right start.
Coach, West Side Bowl, you guys are playing for Bert Hobley's clipboard. Tell us what that means to you and your program, especially considering Coach was with Madison West for so long.
Yeah, Bert Hobley was obviously a tremendous coach over at Madison West, and he won the state championship back in '77. And we love hearing that, and we love being a part of that over here at West. We're the only Madison school that has a state championship, so we have a lot of pride towards that, trying to let my kids know about the tradition that was at West and trying to keep that alive and trying to build on top of it now. So we're focused on, trying to get a conference championship first and see if we can get in the playoffs and go from there.
Always a big game when you guys face off against each other. We talked a little bit about the defense. How about the offense? Keyshawn Shanklin, bit of a playmaker for you, isn't it?
Yeah, Keyshawn certainly is a senior this year, and he's stepping up the way we need him to. And we got some younger guys, in the offensive mix too, with Ezra Thompson out at wide receiver and Jaden Stevens, a tremendous running back for us. So we're really excited about all those kids right now.
And speaking of that, he had Shanklin throw a touchdown pass to Thompson, and then he returned the favor. How do you decide who's going to be your quarterback throughout the game?
I think, Keyshawn's always going to start the game for us. It's just kind of a rhythm thing, see what we want to do from there. And we'll, just let the game play out, and we'll try to get them both the ball.
Big game coming up straight ahead. West versus Memorial. Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck today. We appreciate it. Coach Smith coming up next here on the 10 Pin Alley pregame show on 57 Sports. All right, back out at Mansfield Stadium as we turn our attention to the Spartan side of things right now as we are joined by their head coach, Adam Smith. And, Coach, thank you for coming on in. Another new season for you guys. We're into week 2. Week 1, I don't know if you could have scheduled a tougher opponent to get out of the gates. How do you bounce back from a game like that after Middleton and try to get that first win of the season?
Well, we know we we did a lot for them. Not saying that the outcome, would have been any different, but we did give them a lot on our own doing. They're a very good program. They're well coached. So we were able to point those things out on film, able to work through these things out on the practice field. And our guys are confident coming into this game that if we, again, give great effort, do our assignment, we're going to be all right.
You run a high-flying spread attack. How are you getting that untracked this week with your boys?
Well, I think it's just to get everybody comfortable and get into the routine of the game. Last week, first play of the game, we throw an interception, and right after a 3-and-out, great job by our defense. So I just think it's getting into a groove, getting on the field a little bit, and seeing what we can do and what we need to adjust, and getting those things out quickly, and then hopefully we're able to chew up some yardage and get some points on the ball and board, and those things always help in our confidence.
Well, you mentioned turnovers, and turnovers always a big thing. In this game last year, 6 of them for you guys, 5 picks and a fumble. How do you take care of the ball better? Has that been a point of emphasis for you this week in practice?
It's always been a point of emphasis for us, but it's it's just about taking care of the ball. And we mentioned that those stats to those guys and things like that. So we know we got to take care of the ball. We know we put ourselves in a better position when we do. So if we do that, I think again we're going to be in all of our games.
Big game. I know we're looking forward to it, Coach. Thanks for your time. Good luck this week. We will have more of the Blowin' Smoke Barbecue. Yes, that is coming up. The Blowin' Smoke Barbecue Tailgate Show. I can get it out. I really can do this job. I bet you I can. We'll have that and more for you right here from Mansfield Stadium. It's the West Side Bowl presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress right here on 57 Sports.
Hey folks, it's the Blowin' Smoke Barbecue Tailgating Showcase, and I'm here now with Robert Bishop, owner of Blowin' Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee. How are you, Robert?
Doing good, Justin.
Good to have you.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for having us up here. So, what are we looking at here today?
This is our going to be our tailgate appetizer special.
Okay.
Chiefs games, Packer games, Badger games, of course.
Okay.
What we got here is our
You got some onion rings?
Onion ring, beer battered onion rings.
Yeah.
These are buffalo chicken cheese balls.
Okay.
Mozzarella, cheddar, cream cheese, buffalo chicken.
Okay.
Deep fried in a little panko.
Sure.
We've got our beer battered mushrooms.
Okay.
With a little of our secret seasoning in there.
Okay.
And then just some French fries and sweet fries to go with.
Very good. Very good.
Serve it up with a little homemade ranch dressing.
Wow. So that you make that in-house?
Yep, we make that too.
And people should know that you make the cheese balls, the mushrooms, and the onion rings all in-house here.
Yep.
So, all right, let's give it a try here. I'm going to try, I haven't had the mushroom yet, so
Okay.
I'm going to try that. Do people eat it with ranch typically?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
We got a horsey that we make here, horsey sauce that
Okay.
comes with those. It's really good. You like a little spice.
Oh my God.
We cook these mushrooms down in beer, first of all, with a little
Yeah.
rosemary. That takes away most of that moisture. Then we let them cool out, then we batter them up, then deep fry them. So they're not like the kind you bite into and all the water drips out of them. you know?
Yeah. And I can taste the beer, which is great. And this is something that you said you're doing for Chiefs games, Packer games, and so forth?
Yep. Football, basically any day football's on, we'll be doing these things.
Awesome.
Just a good way to start off your meal,
And you got some TVs in your area here so people can come and enjoy the games here.
You bet, yep.
And also, but if you wanted to bring some home, you can do that as well.
Sure, just give us a call. If it's a large order, maybe a day in advance. If it's a small order, take care of it, in just an hour or so, and pop by, pick it up, and get home and watch the game.
Award-winning barbecue right here in Wanakee with Blowin' Smoke Barbecue. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And there's more high school football coming up right after this.
Welcome back to the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series. This is your West Side Bowl. Madison Memorial is taking on Madison West. We've got your Monona State Bank coin toss. Let's listen in. Excuse me.
Okay, gentlemen, the rest of our crew over here, Mr. White will be your linesman, Mr. Fedorovich, your back judge, Mr. Giese, the line judge, Mr. Spillane, the umpire. So, 7's going to talk for Memorial, and we've got 30 for West. Okay, I've got a silver dollar. Come on, bring it in a little closer, you two. There's a head, there's a tail. I'm going to toss it, I'll let it hit the ground. I'd like you to call it this time. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads he calls. It's a tail. So Memorial's won the toss, your choice.
We'd like to defer.
Defer. Memorial wins the toss, defers to the second half. Obviously, you're going to want the ball. You'll be kicking, defending which goal? You want to defend that goal, facing that way. Is that what you want? Okay, spin around that way. Okay. West will receive at the south end to begin with. Okay, fellas, bring it back together. Have a good game.
All right, that was your Monona State Bank coin toss. Stay with us. We've got your Cricket Wireless National Anthem coming up after this.
And we are just about set for the Cricket Wireless National Anthem as we are at Mansfield Stadium, the Westside Bowl, coming to us here tonight on a gorgeous, picture-perfect evening here in the capital city of Wisconsin. Both teams getting lined up for it right now. And a little bit of the, and I don't know if we got this on camera. I think we do. As you take a look at the shot on the far sideline, you do have West players taking a knee for the national anthem, as that has kind of become in vogue, started in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick, as we take a look at what is happening right now and right in front of us. So you coached last year, Mark. This was going on as well when you coached. Did anybody take a knee for you?
Nobody did last year, and, you know, the controversy was just starting back then. I think we're starting to get into it. People have a number of causes that they want to highlight, and taking a knee seems to be, the like you said, Rich, the in vogue way of doing so. I think it's going to become so commonplace that it's going to lose some meaning.
Yeah, I think so as well, and that would be unfortunate. Obviously, there are reasons that people feel that they need to protest. I'm not sure that this is the way to do it. I'm not sure if the message is resonating anymore as well, like you said. But anyways, it is out there, and we see it being done, and it is time. I am guessing right now we're just a few minutes or seconds away from the Cricket Wireless National Anthem as a crowd still filing into Mansfield Stadium here. West versus Memorial. Big game as always, and a big game as we will talk about the schedules for both teams as well as we go along. As you look in the Big 8 Conference, this could have playoff ramifications just as early as week number 2, and you don't hear that a whole heck of a lot. All right, everyone else on their feet right now, caps off. National Anthem time brought to us by Cricket Wireless. Nereus Spartan was kneeling for the national anthem on the West Side line. A much different story. We will see how the story plays out here tonight. The West Side Bowl. Memorial hosting West. We'll have the kickoff for you coming up next right here on A-1 Furniture and Mattresses High School Bowl Series on 57 Sports. Welcome into Mansfield Stadium. Rich Reynolds along with former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez just about set for kickoff in the Westside Bowl here tonight. Madison Memorial hosting Madison West, and even if Madison West was hosting, we would still be here at Mansfield Stadium, Mark. Kind of a weird thing that goes on in the Big Eight as Madison West the only team without a place to truly call home.
They've been playing games here for several decades now, and this is their home field. But Memorial's a school right on the other side of the parking lot here. So this is a brother against brother West Side battle with the West Side Bowl tonight we have, Rich.
Last year, Madison West won this game. Their record finished at 5-4, and they were in the playoffs. Madison Memorial losing this game. They went on to a 3-6 season, didn't make the playoffs. So, as we talked about a little while ago, huge ramifications for both teams here in week 2. Just about set for kickoff. Memorial trying to use a little, I guess, trickery, if you will, on kickoff coverage. Short kick, and it is fielded right about the 20-yard line and spinning forward and busting ahead to the 30-yard line is Jaden Stevens, and we are underway as we will take a look at the Madison West offense. Last week they put 275 yards of total offense up on the board. It was pretty balanced. They had 17 first downs. They won 28-0, and it all starts with Keyshawn Shanklin at quarterback.
He's certainly a playmaker. He was a junior last year that did really well. He was all conference for them, and they're looking for big things out of Keyshawn tonight.
Keyshawn had himself a game last week, 7 of 9 passing for 97 yards and a touchdown. Did not have an interception. Had a great quarterback rating of 148.6. You cannot do much better than that. To start the game off, it's going to be Shanklin on the carry, and he is going to be bulldozed and driven down right around the line of scrimmage.
Well, Coach Adam Smith was excited about their defense. He said last week against Middleton, they went 3 and out, held Middleton's offense, made them punt. But then they had a turnover, and the tide wave just came on, and Middleton rolled to a victory against Memorial. So their defense is stout up the middle, and they're going to look for them to be strong again tonight.
Yeah, turnovers have really gotten Coach Smith and the Spartans snake-bitten over the last couple of seasons. In this game last year, Memorial threw 5 interceptions plus lost a fumble, 6 turnovers en route to a 10-point loss. This time the give is going to be up the middle and barreling forward and gaining good yardage. There is Stevens. So Stevens with a nice run as we take a look at the Pacific Union financial replay of Stevens doing some good power running.
Some of these Madison schools have struggled a little bit with numbers. West is no stranger to that fact, but they always seem to have key talent along the receiver, quarterback, and running back ranks, and you saw their talent right there.
So 3rd and short coming up out of the shotgun, and we're going to see both teams out of shotgun a lot tonight. Stevens tries the left side. He will not get there as he is met by a host of Spartans who are able to force a 4th down.
Looks like they're bringing the punt team on, Rich, and you saw the middle of that interior defensive line of Memorial be able to get a little bit of penetration, stop that inside zone running game, and force the Regents to punt the ball.
And a little bit of what Coach Smith was talking about. We got to see that early on. The defense looked sharp on the first series for the Spartans, and now they're going to get the ball and possibly in pretty good field position. Pressure on, and that might have been partially blocked. That punt did not go very far at all. 2 Spartans were in on it. Goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, and that's where the Spartans are going to set up shop for their first drive. By the way, want to let you know that when you see any penalty flags on the field, think about Courtesy Ford in Sauk Prairie. A big thank you to Dale Hicks at Courtesy Ford in Sauk, your new truck destination. And we got a shot of the crowd there just a second ago. A lot more green in the stands tonight than there is blue and gold.
And you'd expect that with being at Memorial on this side of town, a little bit further away for the West fans to go. But the Green are definitely out supporting their team tonight.
Coach Smith had this team rolling 2 seasons ago. A lot was expected of the Spartans last year. It did not materialize, and this now has to be a bounce-back year as the first carry of the game is going to go to Barrett Hackbart. Hackbart, the leading rusher last week, and he bounces off the left side for a few yards on 1st down.
Adam Smith, coach of the Memorial Spartans, has that spread attack that he likes to run. Oftentimes people think it's for setting up the pass, but sometimes the pass will set up the run, and they start out running the ball, see if they can establish their ground attack.
And it goes through senior quarterback Michael Toman. Toman struggled last week against a very tough Middleton defense, just going 8 for 15, 74 yards. He had a touchdown and a pick. Give's going to be to Hackbart up the middle, and nothing doing as straight ahead he is met by big Javon Enox, who is able to plant Hackbart into the ground.
So Michael Toman's a little bit of a legacy quarterback here for the Spartans. His brother was a quarterback several years ago, runs in the family, so to speak, but he's the trigger man. And I think Coach Smith is going to want him to get on track today. Maybe some short completions for a first down, keep the chains moving, get some momentum for the Spartan offense.
3rd and 5, and we'll see Toman now out of shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 2 split each side. It looked like the blitz was coming. And we have our first flag of the game. Again, a courtesy Ford flag. And we'll see what the call is, and it is going to go against Madison West. So an illegal substitution, and that 5 yards might give the Spartans a first down.
Good call there, Rich. It looked like the ref was doing the Macarena there with all the hand signals, but did result in a Spartan first down.
It was not the Macarena. The first downs, by the way, brought to us today by Festival Foods. Festival Foods, it's the little things. Visit your nearest Festival Foods today. So the first down of the game comes via penalty for the Spartans. And again, they go 4 wide, as it might be the exact play that they had called on 3rd and 5. They'll try it on first down. Toman going to try his first pass of the night. It is complete out in the flats, and first down yardage as he tosses it out to Mike Cerniglia.
And there you see the effectiveness of that spread offense. 2-by-2 receivers, 2 on each side, spread out. So you pretty much have to play man coverage on defense with the 1 high free safety, and it allows you to go sideline to sideline. A nice little 5-yard pass that results in a run after the catch to get pretty close to another first down.
They are going to bring out the chains, I guess, as that was a little bit closer than I thought. Even looking at the replay, I thought for sure he had the first down, but they're going to measure that up. I would think that'd be pretty easy. The chains are right there.
Looks
Refs
like
take a look.
Just a little shy.
It is just shy. So it'll be 2nd and inches. Not sure if that'll change the play call here. Sometimes for coaches, 2nd and inches, you're at midfield. This is a good time to take a shot, isn't it?
Absolutely is. You know, it's a down you can play with. You can either wedge it and go with the inside fullback dive just to get that first down, or if you want to be a little bit of a gunslinger, go over the top deep and see if you can catch something.
We will have a host of sideline reports coming up throughout the game. They are brought to us by Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning. Love these guys. Big thank you to Brian Olson at Dale's Heating and Air. Check out dalesheating.com and find out how you can get your dryer vents cleaned for free. All right, 2nd and inches. Toman now going to go behind center, 3 wide receivers against the West defense. Another whistle, and we got a bit of a discombobulated start here, so I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, we're set. And another whistle. I'm not sure. Is this a clock issue or maybe? Not sure what's going on out there. This is where I wish they had a microphone and could let you know. So 2nd and inches now, and it looks like everybody is ready to play some football as Toman's going to give it off to Hackbart. He's got a first down as he dives ahead for a couple.
Well, with the fullback lead there, not a lot of room to work with, but a little wig room for Hackbart, was able to squeeze forward for that first down.
Hackbart last week was the leading rusher for Memorial. 9 carries, 41 yards. Not a bad average, 4.6. But again, going against a very tough Middleton defense. Those Cardinals can be stingy, especially in Breitenbach Stadium. Gorgeous night for football. This is the 2nd week in a row that we have been blessed with perfect weather to start off the season. So many times we're talking about how hot it is and how that affects games. This is some good hitting weather out there right now as Hackbart's going to get the feed again, and he will not get to the line of scrimmage. Good push up front there by the Regent defense.
Tolman run a little bit of read play there. Looked like he could have kept that ball and got outside for some positive yardage. He gave it to Hackbart, who, as you mentioned, is their leading rusher, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But when the defense gets that much penetration, that's one of those where the quarterback was going to want to pull it out, try to get some yards on his own.
Well, you talk about it being a read play. What is he reading when he's running that option?
Primarily, he's reading the defensive end. So if the defensive end goes down the line of scrimmage, he's going to want to take it. If he goes vertical up, where he's going to be in the quarterback's face, he wants to hand it off.
2nd and 12 now for Tolman and company. As West rushing 4. Plenty of time for Tolman, and his pass too tall, intended for Henry Moore out in the flats. That time, Tolman had time, just couldn't make the connection.
And you saw Tolman there tapping his chest. He didn't put the ball on the mark like he should have. He got a little bit of happy feet back in the pocket there. He just got to set his feet and throw, put a little on it, a little bit more accuracy when you get your body pointed in the right direction of the receiver, especially when you're throwing the ball to the left side of the field.
3rd down and 12 coming up. By the way, every time we take a timeout tonight, think of You Break, I Fix Madison. If it has a power button, they can fix it. You break, I fix. Right now, the Spartans would like to fix it down in distance here. 3rd and 12, looking for their 3rd first down of the drive. Play action. Tolman in trouble, scrambling to his right, and he is going to have to run the ball. Breaks a tackle, but is not going to get there as he is held just shy at about the 40-yard line, maybe about 3 yards short.
I think you're right, Rich. It's going to be 4th and 3 at the 40-yard line. They're in the region territory. Potentially you could roll the dice and go for it, but Memorial sends on the punting unit, going to punt the ball away here.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I know a lot of coaches, they love to play that field position game. Then there's that high school coach in Arkansas. I can't remember his name. Never punts.
Never punts.
Has won state championships that way. Has said there's mathematical reasons for it. We could talk about that and what you think about that as a coach when we get back. Just getting going. We're scoreless here from Mansfield Stadium. It is the Westside Bowl on 57 Sports. Student section enjoying the gorgeous evening here tonight. Highlighter colors, I think, is what they are going with this evening as they are into the game, and why not? Great night for football, and a 4th down and 3 coming up here for the Spartans. Are at the 40-yard line of the Regents, and instead of punting, now they're going for it. Nope, check that. They are punting. It is punt formation, punt on the way. Pretty deep kick is a fair catch called for at the 11-yard line. Okay, so back to what we were talking about beforehand. In a situation like that, if I'm coaching, I'm thinking I'm going for it. I think I got a good defense. I think my defense is up to the task, and I think I can get that first down. Why punt there as a coach? What are your thoughts about it?
Well, there's a lot of factors that you take into it, Rich. How's your defense playing? Is your offense playing with confidence? How's the other team looking? Are they looking tired? Do you have a play in your playbook that can for sure pick up those downs? Oftentimes in this situation here, Rich, you're tempted to go for it, but look at this now. The Regents have to go 90 yards to score. Very difficult at the high school level to go 90 yards without making a mistake yourself. So sometimes the odds are be a little bit conservative, but it also depends what the score is and the time of the game.
So 1st and 10 out of the shotgun now. Shanklin runs some option, pitches it out to Stevens, who has room and will take it across the 20-yard line and is near first down yardage on a nice play running option there. So again, going to that coach in Arkansas, he said he did the math. They've done studies. He does not punt. Almost never. There are some times where he actually will, but almost never. Have you ever done this study? Have you ever thought about it?
I looked at it a little bit. You know, when I was coaching 8-man, Rich, and for a couple of the years there, we only played on an 80-yard long field. So for us, it made a lot of sense to just go for it because you're almost always at midfield. In the 100-yard game, I can't imagine not punting the ball if you have the ball down in the 30, 20-yard line. But some coaches are willing to take that risk, and that guy in Arkansas seems to do a good job of that.
He's won some state titles, as did you. So both ways seem to be successful, as it was a Festival Foods first down, and the give this time is going to be to the upback. That is Armoni Warfield, and Warfield, the fullback, gets about 3 or 4 yards on first down, and he is the first one to touch the ball out of the backfield besides Stevens. So early on, what we're seeing from the Regents, heavy dose of the run game.
It is, and it's going to be difficult to run in between the tackles because the Spartans have 6'4", 325 senior defensive tackle Joseph Watson. So if they're going to run the ball, the Regents tonight, they're going to have to go outside the tackle box.
Last week, the Regents 159 yards on the ground against Beloit Memorial. Again, that was a 28-0 win for the Regents. As now Shanklin, he does his read on the option. And it was a good one. He kept it, runs off the left side, and it's another Regent and Festival Foods first down.
Shanklin's an exciting player. As I mentioned earlier, he was all-conference quarterback last year. He's a true dual-threat quarterback. He can throw the ball pretty well. He also can run it. He's got some quicks with him, and you saw it on display there. He's going to be a factor to be contended with for the West Regents all season long.
So quicks means that he's fast.
Lateral quickness.
Yeah, okay. Just for those of us that are a little bit challenged when it comes to some of those slang terms that coaches use, you know. First down, 2 wide receivers out to the right, and the give straight ahead to the fullback, and he barrels forward, power run, and a first down, a pickup of 11 for Warfield, and this ground attack for West getting it done here on this drive with their second Festival Foods first down.
Well, the big one, Watson, was on the right side of the Spartans' defensive line, which was the left side of the Regents, and so they ran that ball to the right side, found a nice hole there. We saw Marnie Warfield last year against East do some damage up the gut, and looks like he's back to his old tricks this year. He's a good fullback. They got Shanklin being able to run the ball in the backfield, so they got a little thunder and lightning going.
Great shot as well inside the huddle as you saw that. One thing that I'm noticing even early on, those offensive linemen for the Regents, they're sucking wind here pretty good. A lot of them go both ways on what is a pretty small roster. And what the heck was that as Shanklin takes it outside? And I think actually we have some up-chuckage going on from Armoni Warfield as the play was developing, he spewed.
I've never seen that before in the middle of a play. I've seen a kid throw up after a play.
Right.
He may have fallen on the ball and just got it on his gut there. And Rich, you mentioned earlier, and I say this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but the West Regents during the national anthem, they all took a knee. They only got 27 kids, so maybe they're being smart and resting during the national anthem is what they were doing there, because they're going to have to play a lot tonight.
That's a good way to think about it. I like that. It's going to bring up 2nd and 2 after that messy play, but it's still netted 8 yards. For the Regents, I guess they'll take that every time. Hopefully Warfield is okay as the give's going to be up to the middle to Stevens, and nothing doing there. Nice job by Sam Jessup, the junior defensive lineman, who was in the backfield that time on a nice play to lead the charge for the Spartan D.
Again, some of those straight just dive plays into the heart of that Spartan defense. I'm not sure that's going to be successful for the Regents tonight. They're going to have to get on the edge with their skill players and try to use their speed to get to the outside.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. By the way, as you watch the game, you can make your picks at home. We will have our picks for the Brunzell Lumber Offensive MVP and the Little Strokes Swim Academy Defensive MVP. We will hand out those awards as long as with some other hardware as well after the game today. 3rd down here, a couple of first downs on the drive, make it 3 now as Shanklin gets the first down over the right side, but flags fly, and I got a feeling it's coming back with a hold, maybe right on the edge.
Yeah, Shanklin was getting around the edge there. Looked like offensive lineman for the Regents was holding, which enabled him to get to the outside and get that first down, but that one's going to come back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it looks like it's going to probably be 3rd and 12 or so.
There was that laundry on the field and the courtesy forward penalty flag. And sometimes when you run off tackle or do a pitch play, it's that guy on the end that ends up getting caught holding, isn't it?
It certainly is, because that defensive lineman sees where the play is going. He tries to peel off his block and go. You're trying to hang on to your block inside. You might get a little bit of hand around that jersey. And as that player leaves, his jersey gets pulled with him, and the refs see that. Flag all the time.
There's a technique for a tackle or a tight end to kind of seal block there, isn't there? Is that what you have to do?
There certainly is. You want to get your outside arm and leg way outside, try to hook that guy, so to speak, so you get your body between him and where the running back is going.
You don't do that proper technique, it becomes easy for the refs to call it. So now it's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Shanklin and company. He does have 4 wide receivers. Blitz coming as rolling right. That's not Shanklin, but it is Ezra Thompson who is in, and he is sacked. Flags fly as Thompson is put back on a Green Bay Packers give-back quarterback sack. But let's see what the call is, and it's roughing the passer as a shot to the head came on the play from Jeremiah Jordan. We could take a look on the replay. He might have launched himself, and I think that's what the refs actually felt was the problem there.
You know, it looked like the quarterback was just trying to plant his feet to set, and the defender was coming at him so fast. He didn't really have time to lower his pads, so I don't know that it was too egregious on his part, but it is going to result in some positive yardage from that penalty. It's not an automatic first down, Rich, but it does give the Regents a chance to pick up a first down here now that it's 3rd and 7.
Interesting. So not an automatic first down. Instead, it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. We'll call it 3rd and 7, as it looks like for the Regents here. Inside of 3 minutes, we'll take a look at that play in our split screen as we head on down for a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. Take it away, guys.
Jessa and I are taking a break from the game for a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report, and we have a very special guest with us tonight. This is Bruce. He's the Madison Memorial Spartan. Bruce, are you excited to be here for the game tonight? You pumped up? I love it.
He's pretty excited. I have a feeling you've got a special way of predicting the outcome for tonight's game. How do you do that?
Focusing, envisioning hard. I'm going to conquer.
He's envisioning the big M.
I like it.
The big W for the big M.
There you go. I love it. So you've got to have some sweet dance moves. What would you say is your favorite dance move to get the crowd going? Ooh. All right.
We'll practice that one. Maybe we'll bring it back during halftime.
I love it.
I have a feeling you've got a favorite color. Is your favorite color blue? Nope, not
I didn't
blue.
see that
How
one
about
coming.
green? Do you like green?
Extra excited about that one. All right, now this is the hardest question. Who are your favorite Channel 57 hosts for football? Love it.
We were hoping that would be the answer.
This has been a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report, and we'll send it back to you, Rich and Mark.
One thing that I actually learned watching that report is that Ellen Barrett is rhythmically challenged. Holy cow. Ellen, practice the dancing, girl. Holy I think I can do better, and I am no dancer. Hopefully she gets some practice in. We'll see the dance moves a little bit later on from Ellen. I'm sure there's some people that can dance in that crowd right there, and they're hoping to dance to a Spartan score as their second drive of the game as they get going from about the 15-yard line. They give us to Hackbart, and he gets good yardage on first down.
So interesting, Rich. Sometimes Adam Smith likes to go with a little bit of a no huddle. He hasn't gone to that yet. You would think with the limited players that West has, he'd want to speed this game up and get them a little bit more winded. But he's huddling up and taking his time and trying to move the ball normally. Still spreading teams out, but not going with that no huddle yet.
Yeah, we had made mention of it a little bit earlier on. Coach Murphy having an uphill battle with recruiting, if you will. 25, 26 guys, something like that on the roster. Very small roster for Madison West. Plenty of time for Tolman, and he connects for first down yardage as the pass is complete to Cal Peterson for the first down.
So we haven't mentioned it yet too much, Rich, or we did in pregame, but these two teams are playing for the West Side Bert Hobley Clipboard Trophy. And Bert Hobley was a longtime coach at Madison West for 40 years. He taught and coached over there multiple sports, in particular the football team. He won a state championship for Madison West in 1977. I'm interested in what he'd be thinking about the type of numbers that West has right now.
Yeah, it's really kind of disheartening, I guess, if you are a Regent fan, to see only 25 guys that are suited up for the game. But right now, I tell you what, the Regents are giving the Spartans everything they could ask for and more as they are matching up early on in the game. But it seems to me, if I was a betting man, and I am not a betting man by any stretch, that I would think that the Regents have the real possibility of wearing down in this game.
Oh, it's just simple physics is what we call it, Rich, right? You know, you got 25, 26 kids on your sidelines there, and you got a lot of kids going both ways, playing offense, defense, and special teams. So we're talking about guys that are going to wear down over the course of a 48-minute game, and it's going to play to the advantage of the Spartans.
First quarter is in the books, and we are scoreless here from Mansfield Stadium, the West Side Bowl. Glad that you could join us here on a gorgeous night for football. We'll be back with quarter number 2 right after this as you're watching the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series on 57 Sports.
Another Dale's Heating and Air sideline report for you, and this one has a little bit of history. With us now is Gary Colpine. You've done quite a bit. You were the athletic director, you've been the swim coach. What other titles have you had?
I coached football for 31 years as well. I've been very lucky to be involved with kids for a long time.
I love it. And one of the really cool things about the game tonight, obviously the rivalry, you guys can see the student section behind us, but I want to hear a little bit more about the Hobley Clipboard Trophy. Is that right to call it a trophy?
Absolutely. Our rivalry goes back 51 years when Memorial opened 51 years ago. And, you know, West used to be the farthest West Side school, and then we came into being. And our neighborhoods are so close together. It's just a natural rivalry. And Coach Hobley was an icon at West, coaching hockey and football for many, many years. His kids went to school here, 7 of them. And I had the pleasure and privilege of coaching 3 of his sons in football. Still involved with them a lot, and we stay in contact. It's just a great thing, great rivalry, and the clipboard is a really big deal.
And this is an exciting time for us because we're here giving an award away as well. Would you say it's a friendly rivalry?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, it sure seems like it. Again, this is Gary. Thanks for the interview today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's been a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. We're going to go to break. We'll be back with more A-1 Furniture High School Football Bowl Series after this.
All right, thank you, ladies. We're actually going back to the game as we got a third down coming up. Just the start of the second quarter as all we watched was Tolman misfiring on 2nd and 10. Along with Mark Martinez, I am Rich Reynolds. Happy to be with you here tonight. Fantastic game, good crowd on hand. We got another at least competitive game to start with here. Last season, so many laughers, if you will, so far into week number 2. We've had a couple of good, close, competitive games. Tolman now has time on 3rd and long. Will get flushed from the pocket, tries the sideline, long throw, incomplete as he is unable to hook up, and that'll bring up 4th down and invariably the punt unit again for the Spartans.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rich, we talked a little bit about West's numbers or lack thereof. They only have 27 players suited up tonight. But they pitched 5 quarters of shutout football so far to start the season. They didn't allow Beloit Memorial to score last year. They've held Memorial scoreless so far, so they got to be pretty proud of how their defense is playing.
Great point, and against teams that usually can pass the ball, so it says a lot for what their secondary can do. Second punt of the game for the Spartans, and a high end-over-ender bounces at the 40. It's going to be stopped right about there at the 39-yard line is where the Regents will take over. So we'll come back with their 3rd drive of the game, scoreless here in the second quarter in the Westside Bowl on 57 Sports. So many sponsors to thank tonight. I would like to say thank you to Monona Bank. They sponsored our coin toss. Pacific Union Financial as well. They do all of our replays here tonight, and you are seeing a bunch of them. Great job by our crew tonight. And when we get a touchdown, it's going to be brought to you by You Move Me, your local first full-service movers. Shanklin, play action, going long, has a man wide open and overshot his intended receiver on his first attempt of the night. Running free was Ezra Thompson, but just an overthrow by Shanklin.
That was a well-designed play, Rich. Made it look like a run the whole way there. Ezra Thompson went out, pretended like he was going to block, and then just blew by the defensive back. He was wide open. Shanklin put just a little bit too much mustard on that, but that was a well-designed play. I'm sure Shanklin's going to want to come back to that one later on.
Yeah, and I think that's how you really have to design that play. Make it look like a run means the blockers have to sell it. The receivers have to sell it. Everybody's got to make defense read run to get a guy that wide open, and Thompson was open down the sidelines. 3 wides to the right side this time for Shanklin, running that option, pitches it out to Stevens in space, and a head full of steam. He's got a first down as he's dragged down past midfield. A flag comes down, and this might be going against the Spartans.
Horse collar, Rich, is what we got there. That's a penalty at all levels of football these days. If you grab inside the jersey that goes around the neck and pull them down directly behind the runner or to his side, they're going to call that penalty every time, trying to protect those lower legs on the ball carriers.
Got to tell you, I'm really impressed so far tonight with the line play on both sides of the ball for Madison West. They've been able to run the ball. That's 64 yards rushing as a team right now. Leading the way is Stevens, who has 4 carries for 30 yards. So pretty impressive job so far tonight by the undermanned Regents.
Absolutely, and again, that was a well-designed play as well, Rich, as an option to the right, so you're letting the right defensive end come free, and you're deciding to pitch it if he comes at the quarterback, or Shanklin would keep it if he went at the pitchback. And when the pitchback got the ball, the next defender was getting blocked by 2 Regent players and was able to enable him to get 10 more yards running the ball.
Penalty goes against the Spartans, I believe. I'm not sure that they called the penalty at all. Looks like there was no yardage given out on it. So no courtesy forward flag, as now Shanklin has another wide receiver wide open down the left sideline and complete, as waiting on the catch and eventually making it is Ben Thompson, who is camped out inside the 15-yard line down to the 12, as Shanklin put a lot of air under that ball and gets it to Thompson.
Well, that was the exact same play that Shanklin missed on earlier to Ezra Thompson, but he was able to complete it to Ben Thompson going to the left side this time. So if it worked once, you know the coach is going to come back to it. It's a little surprised he came back to it so quickly, but running to the left, it was a little bit harder of a throw. Shanklin put a little bit of too much air under that. Otherwise, he would have walked into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a surefire touchdown right there. Instead, it goes for a gain of 36 yards on the hookup, a Festival Foods first down. And just like that, the Regents are in the red zone, and Shanklin once again runs shotgun. Runs the option again, pitches it to Stevens, has some blockers, makes a move inside the 5, dives ahead, touchdown Madison West on a real strong, impressive run, that time by Stevens.
Again, that's that option play to the wide side of the field. They ran that earlier for 10 yards when they had the takeaway penalty there. But they got 2 blockers out there on 1 defender. Makes it easy for the running back to read that block and then just make a couple guys move, lower your shoulders, and get into the end zone for the Regents' first score tonight.
A You Move Me touchdown, and moving on that touchdown was Jaden Stevens. Great job again by the line and the blocking of Madison West. The Regents let Stevens go basically untouched until he got to about the 5-yard line. I mean, absolutely impressive so far tonight for Coach Murphy's undermanned crew. There's no other way to put it. They don't have a lot of players over on that sideline, but what they do have is playing some quality football here tonight. Extra point, pressure was on it, but it is good. 7-0 Regents, 10:37 left till halftime. Let's send it back down to the sidelines right now for another Dale's Heating and Air sideline report.
Taking a break here on the sidelines for a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. Some exciting moments here on the field, and Torrance Hill, who's here as a first-year AD for West, is into the game, as I can see. So thanks for being here with us tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So I want to get you back to the game quickly, but give us some highlights that fans can expect looking ahead to this year's football season.
Well, we're a senior-oriented team, but we expect to compete and hopefully contend for the conference championship this year.
The game's looking good so far.
I think we're looking great so far, actually. But yeah, it's still early, but we're going to keep fighting till the end is over.
Awesome. And how about other fall sports that are coming up?
So far, our tennis team, our girls' tennis team, is ranked number 2 in the state. Our cross-country team, boys who won state last year, and girls compete tomorrow for the first time. So fall sports for West is going very well so far.
That is so exciting. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll let you get back to cheering here on the sidelines.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and we'll head back to the game.
Thank you, ladies. Nice job. Madison West with a 7-0 lead. They are looking to go to 2-0 on the season, and they better their next 2 games, by the way, Mark, as this kickoff, a pretty good one inside the 5-yard line. And taking there and bringing it out is Cam Marshall. Marshall still on the move as he breaks free across the 40. And a nice return. And maybe the special teams will get the Spartans going. You know, talking about the schedule for Madison West, they have this game tonight, always a rivalry game. The next two, they're at Middleton and at Verona. That's a tough road to hoe.
It certainly is, and as we talked about last week against Middleton, Spartan offense can only muster 137 total yards. They haven't seemed in sync tonight quite yet. We'll see if Smith can get these guys, and this kick return here can spark this offense to start moving the ball.
Only 20 yards on the ground so far for the Spartans and 15 in the air. Just 35 total yards so far, as we are now just over a minute into the second quarter, and the give is going to be the first carry of the night for Arindis Vassar, and Vassar off the right side, nears first down yardage, but a good pickup of about 6, maybe 7 on first down.
And Adam Smith, this is his third season at Madison Memorial, but he's had a lot of coaching experience beyond that with the Madison Mustangs and others. He's not going to panic and just start throwing the ball to prove it. He's going to try to continue to remain balanced, run the ball when he can, and pick his shots when he can move the ball downfield, throwing it with the spread offense.
Actually going to give Vassar a pickup of 8. Yeah, we're seeing some spread. We're actually seeing at times Tolman is behind center as well, so which I don't think we saw Memorial do at all last year in the 2 games that we called with them. 4 wide, 3 of them are split left. Tolman's going to try and bring it down and run. He was grabbed along the way, and it is going to be a Green Bay Packers give-back sack. Only a loss of a yard, but that's a sack. And big number 78, Javon Enox, in there once again. He has been disruptive so far in this game.
I think Tolman saw a little green where he could run to daylight there. Just about got through that. If he would have squirted past Enox, he would have picked up the first down easily. But Enox reached out with that hand, got a paw on him, and brought him down before he could make the first down.
Yeah, the way he did it, I was worried at first it might have been a face mask, but that head never turned for Tolman. Instead, he goes down. It's only a 1-yard loss. But again, a Green Bay Pack gives back sack. Say that 10 times fast. 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down coming up here for the Spartans, trying to answer the touchdown drive of the Regents, and a flag down, and we'll see what the call is.
Delay of game.
Mark, you got it. Delay of game. Wow, that's a tough call.
And that's one where the quarterback has to keep their eye on the downfield field judge. He's going to be marking off those last 5 seconds with his hand up in the air, and you just got to be cognizant of that and get your play called.
And what it does, too, it makes 3rd and 3, 3rd and 8, and that's a world of difference. Almost takes the run out of it here. Vassar is the lone setback. 4 wide. For Tolman, dropping back plenty of time, swings it out to Vassar. He's got some ground to make up. He will not get there, as good tackling by the Regents as planted into the ground was Vassar, and that was by David Maravilla.
That was a picture-perfect tackle. It looked like he had some running room there, and he sized him up, put his shoulder pad right in his sternum, and took him down for the tackle before he could get the first down. Nice tackle by Maravilla there.
Boy, and that's where that penalty really comes back to hurt. A pickup of 4. If it was 3rd and 3 instead of 3rd and 8, we're moving the chains. The Spartans are still in business. As it stands, they got to punt the ball away again. Mateo Mora, the punter, is ready for his 3rd punt of the game. Another end-over-ender looking to get a bounce. Instead, it bounces the wrong way. It stops right near the 20-yard line. We'll call it the 19 for the Regents. All right, they'll set up shop there when we get back with a 7-0 lead. You're watching the Westside Bowl on 57 Sports. You know, if you are enjoying the games here on 57 and we bring you high school football and basketball, I urge you to go to A-1 Furniture and Mattress. You know, they are our title sponsor for both football, basketball. Great products, great service, great prices over at A-1 Furniture and Mattress. Please head on out there, say hi to Mr. Paul Canarella, let him know that you saw it on 57. We sure would appreciate it. As Stevens, another big gain on first down, and another courtesy Ford flag, unfortunately, flying in, as this looks like it might negate a pretty good gain by Stevens.
Well, it's about the 4th or 5th time they run that option play, Rich. They've run it to very good success so far in the game there. That time, the 2 Regent blockers who were engaged with the one Spartan defender. Looked like somebody got a little bit more jersey than they needed to, and the ref saw it, and they're going to have to back up 10 yards.
Second flag against the Regents as they have 2 flags against them for 20 yards tonight. Both of them holding penalties, and those can really be drive killers, especially for a team that has been explosive here in the first half. Only 1 of 2 passing so far for Shanklin. That's all he's needed, a 36-yard hookup to Ben Thompson, and also a lot of yards on the ground so far, 76 on the ground here in the first half for the Regents. A lot of it coming via the option. Shanklin out of the shotgun, now deep in his own territory, now out of the end zone, throwing long and incomplete down the sideline as he was looking on the play for Armoni Warfield out of the backfield, as Shanklin has been a little bit long on a couple passes so far here tonight.
Well, the big fellow was rumbling on what they call a wheel route. So he started in the slot. The outside receiver ran a slant. He went underneath him on the sideline and tried to get deep. Didn't really fool anybody there, but they tried to hit him for a long gainer. And that's one that they might want to try to a guy who might have a little bit more giddy up in his hitch there down the road.
7-0 our score. We're at Mansfield Stadium. Gorgeous night. We're kind of in the shadows, if you don't know where it's at, by Westtown Mall. And so not too far from there. All of the stands, by the way, are on our near side as both the visitors and the home team's fans are there. As a pitch out this time is going to go to Warfield on the near side. Picks up decent yardage on 2nd and long, but it's still going to be 3rd and a bunch.
That option game has been successful for them, probably their most successful running play tonight, Rich, and it's looking pretty good. The Spartans are going to have to adjust a little bit to get somebody more on contain on the option back out of the backfield so he doesn't get that head of steam coming upfield. We'll see if Shanklin goes back to that or if they try to hit a deep pass again here.
I think sometimes it's hard on the defense, too. Their defense is used to facing a spread offense. And so, trying to get that option look, very difficult to mimic, even if you have a scout team offense, even to have a quarterback that can run option, as it's going to be a draw play to Stevens on 3rd and long. He'll get back just past the original line of scrimmage, is held up there. 4th down for Madison West.
I think that's one, Rich, where Coach Murphy's thinking his defense is playing pretty well. He doesn't want to take any chances way down here with a long pass and just try to safe draw play up the middle, see if they can find a wedge or a hole to get through to maybe squirt through for the 1st down. If not, get a few positive yards and punt the ball away and go play some tough defense.
Jaden Stevens has been good so far tonight. 6 carries, 49 yards here in the first half, but the Regents will have to punt for the 3rd time tonight. Pressure once again. The special teams have looked good tonight for the Spartans, if nothing else. But this punt going to be shy of the 50-yard line. So terrific field position for the Spartans. When we return, you're watching the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series on 57 Sports. Our game clock sponsor is Super Trooper Motors. Visit them for a $10 oil change or get a new used car. Super Trooper Motors. On 1st down, give goes up the middle and good yardage for the Spartans on the ground as Barrett Hackbart picks up about 5 yards.
So the question, Rich, is who's going to spark this Spartan offense? Again, last week against Middleton, we know Middleton's a perennial power. West obviously has a very good defense, but you got the ball in the opponent's territory here. You got to get some confidence, some consistency. See if somebody on that Spartan offense can make a play and get them in the end zone.
They do need to get the offense going. They have been stalled by the Regent defense so far, but they start in their best field position of the night. As they started in Regent territory, Hackbart bounces it outside, 1st down yardage and more inside the 40 and down inside the 30-yard line, down to the 32, and a nice pickup on the play. Check that. That's about the 29-yard line, so a gain of 12 for Hackbart and another Festival Foods 1st down.
With all the passing in high school football, the 7-on-7 leagues that you see on ESPN and even around in southern Wisconsin where they're playing just passing during the summertime, it's nice to see teams stick with the running game like both teams are trying to do tonight, because you can always go throwing the ball, but that running game pays dividends eventually if you can get it going.
Both teams have had some success on the ground. The Regents a little bit more. 1st and 10, play action. Toman, no, actually the give was to Hackbart. Faked me out. He did a nice job of completing the play, and Hackbart does a nice job of gaining yardage on 1st down.
They found some success running the ball in between the tackles there, getting a little bit of a pull, what we call an inside trap game, where the right side guard pulls and tries to kick out the first linebacker he sees on the left side of the offensive line. Lead block, so to speak. When you only have that one back in the backfield, you needed to get that lead blocker through there, open up a hole for the back.
2nd and short here. I think our graphic says 3rd down. It is 2nd down, and the give is going to be up the middle, and another Festival Foods 1st down. And all of a sudden now the Spartans finding a lot of success on the ground here for Coach Smith.
I think that's 4 consecutive carries by Hackbart, Rich, if I'm not mistaken. And again, it's almost the exact same play, just a little bit different formations. So a little window dressing on the offense as far as where guys are lining up, but it's the same play over and over. And when you have success like that, you might as well keep going it and make the Regents stop you.
It's going to be now 10 carries for 40 yards so far on the night unofficially for Barrett Hackbart, and indeed a Festival Foods 1st down as they bring out the chains to confirm it for Madison Memorial. After tonight, their schedule doesn't get much easier either. They're going to be at home next week against Verona, then at home against Madison La Follette. So a tough start to the schedule for Coach Smith and company, as it's kind of a front-loaded Big 8 schedule for him.
A lot of good quality teams in the Big 8. Maybe not state championship caliber, but pretty darn good, pretty competitive league.
Middleton, Sun Prairie, probably the two that are expected to duke it out all year as a high snap, and Toman is just able to fall on it right there. Big loss on 1st down. The snap went a little bit high. Toman couldn't corral it, and instead it turns into a Green Bay Packers give back quarterback sack. For the 2nd year, the Packers are proud supporters of the Wisconsin 57 High School Bowl Series. Go Pack, go.
And that's frustrating there when you self-destruct a little bit on your own. You're inside the 20-yard line, and now you have a negative play like that you really caused. West didn't do that to you. You did it to yourself, especially when you're getting momentum going. You don't want that happening.
Yeah, down and distance, much harder right now as Elliott Gray's the near side receiver. They give us to Vassar up the middle. Makes one guy miss, and now here he goes down the right sideline using power and driving ahead inside the 5-yard line. Vassar with probably the run of the night so far on a pickup on the play of 21 yards and a Festival Foods 1st down.
Well, the 5'8", 180-pound senior tailback really showed some speed and power. He got to the outside. Looked like the defender was going to push him out at the 10-yard line. Vassar lowered his shoulder, ran him over, and got down to the 5-yard line. See if the Spartans can be the first team to score on this region's defense this year.
Vassar 5'8", 180. That means he has a low center of gravity, and it definitely helped on that run. It is Hackbart now, who is a deep back. He gets a carry. He tries for the corner. Turning on the Jets. Cannot turn the corner as he actually fumbles going out of bounds. And on top of it, a flag on the play right in the middle. And I think Coach Martinez is calling a hold, and it is.
It happened right away, Rich. I saw the ref pull for the flag. When it's interior like that, you know for sure it's holding. Going to back them up 10 yards, maybe more. Little known rule in high school football, the holding penalty, if it's beyond the line of scrimmage, it is 10 yards from the spot of the hold.
And it is being marched back now to about the 13-yard line. So that, by the way, is already the 5th penalty against Memorial, so they're able, at least so far, to not turn the ball over. That's been a big bugaboo for them. But the other thing is all those hidden yardage that doesn't show up sometimes, and that's in the penalty yards. So 1st and goal to goal from the 13. Play action. Toman under pressure, but finds his receiver and finds a touchdown as Henry Moore makes the catch, turns it upfield quickly, and it's a You Move Me touchdown, and they are an extra point away from tying this game up.
So Tolman rolled right. He had 2 receivers to his side. It looks like we have a penalty, Rich. Let's see if this score is going to stand.
I missed the flag, and it is a legal man downfield that wipes out the 13-yard touchdown pass. Wow, oh wow, we had just talked about how the penalties have hurt the Spartans here tonight. That is penalty number 6 for 40 yards, and this time it takes 6 points off the board.
Obviously frustrating for the Spartan offense. I'm sure Adam Smith's not happy with that. Rich, in this day and age of offense, they do have run-pass options, so sometimes those linemen aren't sure if the quarterback's going to throw the ball or tuck it and run, and they might sneak downfield a little early, and they got caught there.
2 people were happy about that. 1, Regent fans. 2, the You Move Me people. They got a free plug there on a touchdown that wasn't. So they still might get it. It is 1st and goal from a long way out, and this time it is complete for the touchdown, a 18-yard touchdown strike to Drew Adams off the arm of Michael Toman, and what a shot. I thought it might have been picked in the end zone, but a perfect You Move Me touchdown strike.
Well, the Regent quarterback, Shanklin, was playing defensive back there. He looked like he had the ball dead to rights, but the ball was just over his fingertips, and the Spartan receiver was able to make the touchdown grab.
And it's actually Elliott Grays. I might have said Adams, my apologies. Elliott Grays with the 18-yard touchdown catch on the nice throw from Tolman. The extra point is up. It is good. We are tied 7-7 with just over 3 minutes left until the first half. Let's go back down to the sidelines.
Taking another break here after some exciting moments in the game for Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. We are joined now by some West cheerleaders. This is Anasia and Nick, and we're so glad to chat with you for a minute. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you for having us.
So kind of an interesting situation because usually your home field tonight, you are actually the away team, but I'm excited to tell folks at home that this is a great big cheer team this year. You guys have experienced a lot of growth.
Yeah, at the beginning we had like just about 7 people, and then people realized how cool it actually is. So we grew to like about 60, I think now.
Wow.
45, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know something that's really important to your team too is you guys represent so many different people in your student body, and you have such an inclusive team. Does that add a lot of value and I would think a big sense of pride for you guys?
It definitely adds value. It definitely helps us get more connected to the crowd, and it shows that anybody can join the team, anybody can get involved with our school, and there's not just one image that you have to be.
I love that. Such a great message. And with that, can we do a quick cheer before we go?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Let's go.
5, 6, 7, 8. We are the Regents, and we came to win. We will never ever have to face defeat. Go, go, fight, fight, win, win, fight, fight, go, fight, go, fight, go, fight, win. 1, 2.
I love it. Thanks to Dale's Heating and Air. We'll go back to the game.
Well, something to cheer about there for the Regents. They're going to have great field position as a short kick from Mora, fielded by the upback Matthias Larilla, and Larilla brings it up to about the 40-yard line, so a good spot for the Regents to start here with just over 3 minutes left till halftime.
Well, the Russ Regions fans certainly have shown up. They're a little bit late, but they've all arrived, and the student section is pretty filled over there. Looks like they're wearing togas tonight, so it must be some sort of a Greek night.
There you go. Everybody likes a toga party. Either that or all they had to wear were bed sheets. You never know, Mark.
Toga, toga.
Are we allowed to say that? Is that a
Animal House reference for those of you who didn't get that?
The reason why I wonder if we're allowed to say it kind of dates ourselves, you know. And when people are talking about comedies now, Animal House doesn't come up as much. It's us older generation with a little snow on the roof that talks about it.
That's for sure, but it should be one of the all-time greats.
I agree. Short gain on first down, second down, and 8 for Shanklin and company as the Regents and Spartans tied at 7. And another good football game here this week on 57 Sports. Stevens gets the pitch, and he's got a head of steam, a first down and more into Spartan territory and down to the 40-yard line, and a pickup of 18 yards for Jaden Stevens.
He sure runs that ball hard when he gets the pitch. He gets his shoulders squared north and south and gets that motor running. Spartan defense is going to have to figure that option game out. Now they're probably up to 8, 9 times that they've run that, and they've gained probably 8 to 10 yards a pop on that. Somebody's got to get on the pitch man and have him as their responsibility and slow them down a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing that all night long.
You know, great point. They got to figure it out sometime here tonight. Otherwise, if you're West, keep running it because, like you said, it's 8 to 10 yards every single time. Out of the shotgun once again, Shanklin runs play action and the option to the left side, looking to take it himself. Uh-oh. The Spartans had it red that time, and now they throw Shanklin back and a late flag, and that extracurricular activity and that late toss by Ty Matthews is going to cost the Spartans 15 yards.
You know, I understand why the referee threw the flag there. It didn't look that egregious, Rich, if you ask me. But I understand the ref wants to keep this game in check. He knows it's a rivalry game, too. Wants to make sure that the players are keeping their cool. So he's just trying to prevent something there. But to me, that didn't look too bad.
I agree, and Coach Smith a little bit upset as he's taken a couple of steps out on the field. Instead, it's a 15-yard penalty. That is now 6 penalties against Madison Memorial for 55 yards here in the first half. One of them was a touchdown that was called back. Those flags, those courtesy forward flags, if you will, that have been out on the field, not a courtesy to the Spartans here tonight.
Self-inflicted, Rich. That doesn't please the coaches. I know that for sure.
Not at all. So instead of being a 3rd down and long, it's going to be 2nd down and short this time as 2 wide receivers to the right. Stevens on the carry, trying to use some speed to get outside, ducks under a man, and turns up the right sideline. Another good run for Jaden Stevens out at the 17. Give him 14 more yards and another Festival Foods 1st down.
Well, from a defensive fundamental perspective there, Rich, the defense played that well. They had a man there to stop him, about 2-yard gain, but Stevens just made a move on him and got past him and got the additional yardage. So Stevens is looking pretty good tonight. Feels like he's got his mojo going and got this Regent rushing attack heading downfield.
8 carries, 81 yards, and why not have your mojo when you're getting 10 yards a pop? As Jaden Stevens, you can see where that confidence is coming from. But he seems to have a lot of things going for him. He runs with speed, runs with vision, a little bit of power as well for Stevens. All things you like to see in a running back. Shanklin's going to keep it on the option near side. Seems like a good choice, good positive yards on 1st down.
When we talked about the West team, they have a lot of playmakers, a lot of skill position players. They don't have a lot of depth, but the kids that they have are pretty talented, and you're seeing it here in this first half as this West offense rushing attack is really taking it on this long drive for the Regents and getting in scoring position.
5 carries, 26 yards for Shanklin. He is also 1 of 3 passing for 36 yards on the game. And this so far right now, a perfect drive, if you will, for the Regents. They got the ball with about 3:12 until halftime. It's just been 1st down after 1st down and just driving the ball down the field, chewing that clock up going into the end of the first half. Give's going to be to Stevens. This time he tries the left side, uses speed again, tries to turn the corner. He does, but another courtesy forward flag, and there might have been holding again. Boy, I tell you one thing, when you run on the edges like that, it becomes real easy for the referees to see that.
Well, when you string the play out like the Spartan defense did, which is good, those are long blocks that you're asking your edge players, your receivers, your slot receivers to make for a long time. And whenever you ask a young kid to make a block for that long, something bad could happen, and obviously did there as they got the holding call.
That is the 3rd holding call against the Regents here tonight, and that one is going to hurt a little bit as it's going to bring them out from where they were. They had marked the ball about the 6-yard line, and instead now they're going to put the ball back on the 17 after the 10 yards are marched off.
And again, at the high school level, the holding call is 10 yards from the spot of the hold. So whether it's downfield or behind the line of scrimmage, you're going to get 10 yards marked off from the spot of the infraction.
So what it does makes up a kind of a weird 2nd down and 9 situation for the Regents. Great shots here tonight, by the way, by our camera crew. Good job from Colton, Jeff, Demetrius. everybody involved tonight bringing you this game. It is absolutely beautiful. Shanklin rolling right. I'm not sure if he was looking to pass, run, what he was going to do. What it did turn out to be was a little bit indecisive, strung out, and a loss on the play.
That was a design pass off of the quarterback lead, whereas the ones before were more of an option with the pass off of that. And the cornerback for the Spartans was not full, played great defense on that. Shanklin had nobody to throw to, and the Spartan defense just strung him out to the sideline, and he ended up losing 4 or 5 yards.
So it is going to bring up a 3rd down and very long. We'll call it 3rd and 14 from the 23. And we'll see what Coach Murphy is going to be able to dial up here for the Regents. Again, tied at 7, just over a minute until we hit halftime here tonight. Great game so far tonight here at Mansfield Stadium. Rolling left, Shanklin has time, looks into the end zone, lofts it up, and is picked off at about the 2-yard line. And stepping in front of the ball on the play is Devin Friedrich, just playing safety back there at center field, and he makes the interception. And look out, we also have another courtesy Ford flag down. I did not see the call. Shanklin threw late over the middle, always a bad idea. Turned into an interception at the moment for Friedrich, as we now see Coach Smith talking with the referee, and we'll see what the call is here. Big call.
Well, there's a new rule in high school football, Rich, and we'll see if this plays into one of the rule changes that goes against the Spartans, and I think that's what happened. The peel black block is no longer legal, and it looks like that's what had happened. What that means is after the interception, when a player was far away from the action, if somebody goes and like cleans his clock, even if it's a legal hit like it used to be, it's a penalty nowadays for safety purposes.
Yeah, you just don't want to light a guy up like that anymore, and knowing what could happen health-wise and the ramifications, that's just not the way the game is played anymore. It's probably a step in the right direction. I remember even getting hit on plays like that. They always said, well, clean hit, clean hit. Didn't feel very clean. 7-7 our score. Vassar straight up the middle, and that opened up like the Red Sea parting for Moses and company. Instead, it's for Vassar, who picks up 15 and a Festival Foods first down.
Well, with under a minute to go in the half, a little conservative play, which you would expect at the 5-yard line, just to get the ball and chew some clock there, run it up the middle. But Vassar made a couple of guys miss, and now they got something to work with.
Regents playing very soft defense, a full complement of timeouts for Coach Smith and the Spartans. Toman out of the shotgun, and it looks like he's going to give it straight up the middle to Vassar once again. Not quite as much room here this time for Vassar.
It looks like Coach Smith is okay with going into half at halftime. You know, his team has shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. They've had some penalties, and the last thing you want is a turnover over here to give West the ball and maybe put some points on the board before going into halftime.
Stick around. We do have the Midwest Engine Services halftime show is going to be coming up. Lots of interviews and more during our halftime show tonight, so stick around for that. Toman going to run a quarterback draw. Got hit hard as he takes it up to about the 35-yard line. That is it for our first half. It was a good one. 7-7 is our score. Highly contested game. Lot on the line for these two teams here tonight, and they are playing like it. All right, time now for our Midwest Engine Services halftime show. Let's do that as you're watching the West Side Bowl here on 57 Sports.
It has been an exciting first half here at the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series West Side Bowl. And stay tuned because we're bringing you guys more interviews, and it's coming up with the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. Isn't that right, Jessa?
We got a lot of great action, both on and off the field. Yep. The Palms are performing tonight. Afterwards, we're going to chat with them a little bit, as well as the cheer coach. We've got Memorial Principal Afelt, Memorial Athletic Director Jeremy Schlitz will be joining us, and students, some pretty rowdy ones I might add, from both student sections, because it's such a great rivalry.
It really is, and you're not going to want to miss it. It's all coming up on the Midwest Engine Services halftime show, so please stay with us.
back. If you're just joining us, we're at the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series where Madison West is at Madison Memorial, and we are talking now to some West fans, I would say, dressed in togas. This is Brenda and Kate, and they've been making some noise up in the stands. But first, tell me what's the theme for tonight?
Our theme tonight is togas.
And you looking good, all in togas. That's a big crowd of togas up there. Doing a good job so far. Why do you guys like to come out and support your team?
I think it's really important. It goes along with school spirit, and it creates a bond throughout, like different athletes, everyone throughout the school can come together and cheer for the same people. So I think it's really fun.
Well, you guys are lots of fun. We've enjoyed watching you cheer up there. What do you think is one of your favorite cheers to get the crowd pumped up?
You guys ready?
Ready?
Go.
I love it. Well, lots of fun here at halftime. We've got more Midwest Engine Services halftime show coming up for you right after this.
This is the Midwest Engine Services halftime show, and we've got some more interviews coming up. I've got a rowdy group of some Madison Memorial seniors. We've got Will, and Nick. Guys, tell me a little bit about the rivalry tonight between the two West Side schools.
Honestly, it's not really a rivalry. It's more of we're gonna dominate West tonight. You know what I mean? It's not really a competition. It's more of a domination.
Wow.
Domination, as in Bruce Domin.
Confidence is key. Confidence is key. Now, how about the student sections? You guys both have so much energy. There's some competitiveness. I can feel it.
You know, we just go out there and just cheer our hearts out. No matter how far we're down, we're out there giving it our all. And, you know, we're just the best student section in the 608. And one more shout out to the girls swim team. They beat West today, too.
That did happen.
Now, we got to talk about your theme. You guys are all in neon tonight. Is that right?
That is correct. We are all wearing neon. How we formulate our themes is we got a Twitter page, JMM Sports Themes. Follow us on Twitter. We got everything busting. We got all the themes, and we get it cracking no matter what. Follow us. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, you guys are a lot of fun. I like the enthusiasm. Again.
By the way, we are going to beat West tonight. Oh, yeah. We are going to beat West tonight.
This is the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. Stay tuned for more interviews. Welcome back to the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. We've been having a great time where West is at Memorial tonight, although sharing a field throughout the season. But it's Memorial's home turf this evening, and I'm joined by Principal Jay Affelt, a familiar face here. Thanks for having us this evening.
Yeah, thanks so much for covering the big game. It's certainly an exciting night, a beautiful night for football, and to have our big rivalry game here before school starts is a great way to kick off the year.
You bet it is, and I know staff is already returning. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, our full staff returns Monday morning. We've got over 250 staff, and everybody comes back together, checks in, talks about what happened over the summer, and gear up and get ready to go for our students returning right after Labor Day. We're welcoming about 30 new staff this year, and they've been with us the past couple days, and it's great to get to know them and make sure that they feel they belong and are part of our Memorial family.
That's wonderful. A lot of new folks coming in. I'm sure you're excited. Also for the students to arrive, like you mentioned, there's a lot to accomplish in the first couple weeks as school rolls in. What are some of the things that you'd like to get done in the beginning weeks?
Yeah, what we reinforce and want all of our staff to be focused on the first couple weeks is just getting to know kids. We know that they can all be successful if we know them really well and support them really well, and that just begins with really creating that sense of belonging for kids in the classroom right from the first day.
Well, I think great values, a great motto, and you guys are always such great hosts to us here when we come, so we appreciate that, Jay. Thanks a bunch. We'll be back. We've got more Midwest Engine Services halftime show after the break, so please stay with us. We're back with the Midwest Engine Services halftime show, and with me now I have Jeremy Schultz. He's the Madison Memorial Athletic Director. Thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for covering high school sports.
Gosh, football is such a fun time of year. What do you kind of foresee for this football season for Memorial?
Yeah, the energy's been great. It's a neat way to get the whole community kind of involved in things, and that's just the beginning of the story. So it'll be interesting to see how the journey goes. We've got home games the next 2 weeks, and that's a great way to start things out.
Absolutely. And how about other fall sports?
Yeah, we've got over 700 kids already started, and volleyball going, cross country, swimming. We had a meet. It's just been great. It's a great way to get started. The energy's been awesome in the school, and we really look forward to the year and see what we can do.
Thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And this has been your Midwest Engine Services halftime show. Stay with us, and we'll have more of the game coming up after this.
Welcome back to the Midwest Engine Services halftime show. We've been having a great time here on the sidelines during the half. While the fans get some snacks, we are catching up with some of the folks here at Memorial. Right now I'm with the Memorial pom coach. This is Laura Fitzgerald. And also here is senior Aaron and Captain Lily. Thanks for being here, guys. So I'm going to start with Laura and talk to you a little bit about what a successful summer you guys have had. A lot of bragging rights for these girls. Share some of the highlights.
Yeah, so we, over the summer, attended UW Whitewater Camp, and under the leadership of both our captains, Aaron and Lily, they won so many awards and attended a competition in the end that labeled them amongst the top 10 teams in the entire Midwest. It was an incredible summer.
Incredible group of girls here, and I want to talk to Aaron about being a senior and a captain. What's your favorite thing about leading the team?
My favorite thing about leading the team is getting to know all these great girls and knowing that I have the opportunity to leave a positive legacy in this program for many years to come.
Wow, what a great answer. Lily, what do you look forward to this season?
This season, I'm really looking forward to bonding with the team and dancing with them and seeing what this year has to offer.
I love it. Great stuff. We're going to be back with more Midwest Engine Services halftime show after the break.
We're back with your Midwest Engine Services halftime show, and we have got the Madison Memorial cheer team. And with me now, I have Allie, Jamie, and EVA, and you guys have some exciting stuff to report. So, in December of last year, you guys had a UCA competition. Last year was the first time in Memorial history that you went to Disney to compete. You guys are preparing for this year. How do you prepare for something like that in hopes of returning?
We have a motto, Ohana, from Lilo and Stitch. So we're very family oriented, and we're going to train really, really hard this year because we want to make it a second.
That's awesome. And it's important to note that you guys do have an older team. Half of you guys are made up of seniors. So what does that bring to the team? Are there any challenges with that?
Well, since a lot of us are seniors, we're going to be leaving, but we're hoping that we can leave a lot of really good spirit and learn a lot of cheers for the new team coming up this year so that we can be even stronger.
I love it. And we have 6 lovely ladies with us tonight, but it's important to note that you guys are actually a co-ed team. So what does that kind of bring to the table that's different?
Well, being a co-ed team, it helps us with our stunts. We can do a lot more interesting stunts. Yeah.
That's definitely super exciting for people to watch as well. And we wish you the best of luck. Again, this is Madison Memorial Cheer Team. This was your Midwest Engine Services halftime show. Stay with us for more.
It is week number 2 of the WIAA and a gorgeous night for football. We're on the west side of Madison. Rich Reynolds along with former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez. And what a first half we had. 7-7 is our score in what really, Mark, seems to be a relatively even football game.
It really is. And when you look at the numbers on each side, Rich, the Spartans have about 90 players suited up. We mentioned earlier that the Regents only have 27 guys in uniform tonight. But they're battling out toe-to-toe, and we'll see if those numbers come to play in effect in the second half or not for the Regents, and if the Spartans can wear them down at all.
Some numbers from the first half: 161 total yards of offense for West, 127 for Memorial. Where West made their hay was on the ground, 125 yards rushing in the first half, 81 of it coming from Jaden Stevens, the option working for the Regents.
He's looking really well running the ball, Rich. He's taken that ball on the option pitch, gotten north and south, his shoulder pads going up the field, and sometimes he's not getting touched until 7 or 8 yards down with the well blocking job that his teammates are providing for him. And like you said, he's racked up almost 100 yards already in the first half.
Barrett Hackbart, the workhorse on the Spartan side, 10 carries, 40 yards, 90 yards rushing in the first half for the Spartans, where they got hurt. 7 penalties for 60 yards. That worked against them, including a touchdown called back, but Tolman was able to connect with Grays on the very next play. All right, kickoff to start the second half, and it is brought out by Cam Marshall. Marshall down around the 25-yard line, and 1st and 10 on the first drive for the Spartans here in the second half. Okay, so we got to see their offense, the spread attack in half number 1. If you are Coach Smith, how do you utilize that offense here in the second half?
Well, they seem to have a little bit of success running the ball in that inside zone, but you have to have a counter to that, whether it's a couple of bubble passes or some quick slants to get the ball going aerially through the passing attack. We'll see if they do that.
Michael Tolman under center. We saw that a few times here in the first half. He comes out from under center and throws it off to the right side. Incomplete. They're going to call it a forward pass intended on the play for Elliott Grays.
Well, there was kind of a bubble there, bringing the guy in motion across the formation there, doing a kind of a simple bubble. Tolman just short-armed it a little bit. If he hits him in stride, he's got something to work with, but you got to put that ball on target.
Tolman hitting about 50%. Well, actually, tonight he's right at 50%. 4 of 8 passing, touchdown, no interceptions. In fact, we were turnover free for the first half. Really good news for Coach Smith. Again, last year in this game, the Spartans turned the ball over 6 times, including 5 interceptions. Receiver in motion on second down. The give's going to be to Hackbart straight up the middle. No, Tolman keeps it on the option. Either way, that play was going nowhere fast, as once again, the line play of the Madison West Regents has won this game so far.
It's one-on-one battles in the trenches there for the defensive linemen for the Regents. They were looking for that inside zone, but the quarterback kept the ball, and the defensive tackle and defensive end read that play, shed their block, and tackled Tolman for a loss.
So it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Spartans in danger of a 3 and out here. Tolman shotgun, does have 2 wide receivers split out. A tight end as well. He's got a couple of backs in the backfield and has some time. Now it's breaking down on him, but it is complete to the near side, and then a fumble on the play. The Regents got it. We're just talking about how we had a turnover-free game. The pass was complete to Cerniglia out in the flats. He had what appeared to be a first down for the moment, then lost the ball, and it was picked up by number 24, Zach Mercer.
You got a feel for Cerniglia. All he was trying to do was fight for the extra yardage to make sure he got the first down, and the guys were wrestling around with it. The ball just slipped out of there, and the Regents pounced on it to take over in their side of the field.
Big play in our first turnover of the game. It comes in Spartan territory on their first drive of the second half, and we'll see what the Regents are able to do with it. Momentum-wise here for senior quarterback Keyshawn Shanklin. Had a good first half. He has had a good start to his 2017 season. He is all alone in the backfield. They ran so much option in the first half. Now he looks to pass. Actually, this is Thompson who's back there, and Ezra Thompson airs it down near sideline, and it is going to fall incomplete. Some bumping and pushing there. The intended receiver, Keyshawn Shanklin. So we saw that happen in week number 1. They try to go back to it here in week 2.
Well, Coach Murphy mentioned in the pregame that they do mix up the quarterback play a little bit. Shanklin's definitely the starter. He's going to get the primary snaps, but every once in a while they're going to bring in Ezra Thompson, the sophomore wide receiver, at quarterback, and put Shanklin out on the edge, who's got a little bit more speed, and see if they can get him open deep. He had his guy beat there, but Thompson threw it just a little short.
Not a good throw that time by Thompson, and now Shanklin is back as the quarterback. They run that pistol. 2 backs are behind him, and the pitch goes to Stevens again, and the option is going to work one more time for the Regents as a good gain on second down gives Stevens 7 yards, and what it does, it brings up 3rd down and short.
I got to give a nod, Rich, to Travis Turnquist. He's the Madison West Regents wide receivers coach. He teaches his receivers how to block well. They are out there clearing those blocks up, which is allowing the running backs, Shanklin and Stevens, to be able to get 8-10 yards without even getting touched. So really proud of receivers holding their blocks for that long.
Yeah, you just mentioned that. They showed it on the Pacific Union Financial replay there. Number 10, Ben Thompson, the wide receiver, out in space, making a nice block that was able to spring Stevens on that run. So 3rd down and short. Great field position after the turnover for the Regents. Probably 4 down territory if they don't pick it up here. Going to give it to Stevens. He will pick it up, though. Nice stutter step and he is inside the 20-yard line on a first down. Right inside the 20 for Stevens, and a Festival Foods first down.
Well, you got to be impressed with Stevens. We mentioned it a couple of times. He's got a little bit of everything. He's got some wiggle, side-to-side quickness. He's got some straight line speed, and then he's got a little bit of power to lower his shoulder pads and bowl over a guy when needed. So he's an exciting back. You can see why he's been getting the primary carries for the Regents tonight.
Boy, I got a little confused there. It says that the ball is on the 30-yard line. If you look at the scoreboard, it is most definitely on the 20. So that's what kind of threw me, that little thing that was going on, as Shanklin is going to throw it into the end zone. Touchdown! What a pass, what a catch. Jaden Stevens in the corner of the end zone gets the score. There's a late flag that comes out. I'm not sure what that was.
Taunting.
But a "you move me" touchdown for the Madison West Regents.
Well, that's Stevens that made the catch there. He showed his athleticism there, going up and catching the ball high.
The call is touchdown and unsportsmanlike conduct. There's that taunting call that's going to go against the Regents. I believe they enforced that on the kickoff. Is that right? Or is it on the extra point?
I think you have your option on which one you
is
want
that
to
right?
take.
Yeah.
But Stevens made that catch there. He lined up in the slot, ran what's called a flag route or a corner route, and Shanklin threw the ball up high. He went up and caught it at its apex and scored the touchdown.
20-yard touchdown strike and a beauty. Shanklin to Stevens. You see the jump ball there on the replay. Great job by our camera crew. What it was, great body position that time by Stevens in the corner of the end zone. And Shanklin got it to him, got some air under it, and it looks like the penalty will indeed be enforced on the kickoff, as Regent now lining up for the extra point after the "you move me" touchdown. The Regents do what they needed to do. After the fumble, they drive it down into the end zone with the short field. The extra point is good, and it is Madison West taking a 14-7 lead here in the West Side Bowl, presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports. Got a feeling that last play is going to show up in the Jacobson Brothers Gym plays of the game. Stick around for that after the game here tonight. We got our trophy presentations and more. I know our graphics right now say Memorial 14, West 7. It's the other way around. West with a 14-7 lead, 10:22 left here in the third quarter, and after a fumble on the first drive here in the second half by Memorial, West is able to turn that into 7 points. So that is big. Short kickoff taken by the up back. Good field position for the Spartans. They'll start at about the 42, 43-yard line. And so the Spartans now going to have to get something going on offense. They had their first turnover of the night. Turnovers, something that has really hurt the Spartans this season, last season, kind of a snake bit problem for Coach Smith. He talked about how much they emphasize the fact you got to hold on to that football, but once again, it comes back to hurt them.
Yeah, I think there's a statistic you talked a little about earlier, statistics, and if you're at +2 on the turnover margin, you're going to lose most like 90% of your games, so turnovers are key.
1st and 10, ball resting. They're going to put it all the way up at the 45-yard line for Tolman and company as he gives it off to Hackbard. And this West defense, hey, a lot of guys going both ways, but they're pretty fired up at the way that they're playing right now, and they're not giving Barrett Hackbard a lot of room to run.
You got to be impressed with that defense. We've talked about them all night long. They didn't allow any points last week, only 7 so far this week. So they're pinning the ears back and playing well, especially that defensive line. Those are the big uglies are. You're wondering if they're going to get worn down. But you know what? They're getting confidence, and they're feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Their mamas don't think they're ugly, Mark. It's 11 carries, 42 yards now for Hackbard on the night. Second down coming up. Tolman out of the pistol once again. Looks left, fires left. Incomplete right at the feet of his intended receiver, Mike Cerniglia. And it's 3rd down and long for the Spartans.
Tolman just doesn't look comfortable throwing to his left. There's been about 3 or 4 passes that way that he's just short-armed or been inaccurate on. I wonder if you're going to have to try to throw some things to the right, get him going with some momentum and some confidence, and get this passing game going, because it hasn't been untracked all night long.
Am I wrong in saying, I don't think it's just the timing. It looks like footwork, and I don't know if he's too quick with his feet, not getting a good base. What is he doing that's forcing those throws to hit the dirt like that?
Part of it can be mental, too. He just doesn't have his confidence underneath him right now.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 7. Tolman's going to go behind center, and is going to pitch it out to Vassar, the lone back. So on 3rd and long, Coach Smith elects to run, and they're going to get it. Nice job. It looked like Vassar was going to get stopped a few yards short. He bounces it outside, brings it to the 45 of the Regents, and gets a Festival Foods 1st down.
He's an exciting back. Obviously, Hackbart can run the ball in between the tackles, and Hackbart himself has enough speed to get to the outside, but Vassar seems to have another gear, can make guys miss. Maybe they need to get him the ball on the outside a little bit more, kind of like what West is doing with Stevens.
Yeah, I think you're right. So far tonight for Vassar, 5 carries, 55 yards, 11 yards a pop. That's good yardage. So 4 wide. Vassar is the lone setback. Receiver in motion, and Tolman's going to roll left. Has time, looking for a receiver. Picked off. He stared down his receiver the entire time, and Jaden Stevens, who's been doing it all night long offensively, read that one perfectly and gets the pick off.
That's a rollout left. It's not an easy throw, but when you stare the receiver down and you're just going to throw it to an area expecting him to be there, you got to look for the underneath linebacker, which is what Stevens was playing there. He eyed him the whole way, and that's about as easy of an interception as anybody's going to get.
Wow, 2 drives, 2 turnovers here in the second half for the Spartans, and they are in jeopardy of really falling behind here now if West is able to convert this into points. They're going to have the ball at their own 35-yard line, and again, our score is West 14 and Memorial 7. So we got a whistle, looks like a timeout. We will take it with him, as this timeout is brought to us, just like all of our timeouts are, by You Break, I Fix. We'll be back with more. It's West 14, Memorial 7. This is the West Side Bowl presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress, and this is 57 Sports. Back out at Mansfield Stadium. Great game so far. Madison West, though, has a chance to put some ground in front, or I guess between them and Madison Memorial. They run the option, this time to the near side, and this time it's to Warfield. And a good play out there in space, and a nice tackle as coming up was Cam Marshall to stop Warfield for a short gain.
Cam Marshall, sophomore defensive back, 5'9", 155 pounds, played a lot bigger than that on that play. Shed the block on the receiver and went and made a great tackle for only a 1-yard gain. And if he would have made that tackle, again, Stevens would have had another 8 to 10 yards.
Beautiful pictures on a beautiful night. Madison West deliberate here on offense. Again, trying to come off the turnover and the Jaden Stevens interception. 2 wide receivers right. Shanklin is going to carry the ball himself, trying the right edge. He will turn the corner. Doesn't have a lot of yardage out there, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and somewhat long here, maybe 3rd and 6.
So, Rich, we talked about it earlier. This is a trophy game with our trophy as we have it, as well as the Bert Hobley clipboard trophy, because they are both so close proximity-wise on the west side of Madison, Memorial, and West. They also compete heavily in almost every sport across the board, but one in particular that these two have been dominant at the high school level is swimming.
Yeah.
Madison Memorial, I believe they're at 170-plus straight dual-win victories. They've won somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 of the last 30 state championships. And whenever they're number 1 at state or number 2, West is either 2nd or 3rd. So they got great swimming programs at both of these schools.
It's always that way. We seem to follow that on the sports news all the time and talk about that when it's going on. Terrific stuff. Both programs very strong. Is on 3rd and long. Warfield trying to get there, fighting ahead. And boy, he got close. You know, Warfield was stopped about 5 yards shy. He got real close to the marker, almost got it, and then a late flag comes in, a courtesy Ford flag, as Warfield might have got the first down, but we'll see what the flag is here.
A little extracurricular activity there. He looked like he was down. Defender for the Spartans came in at the end and kind of pushed him a little bit more, giving him the business, so to speak, as he was already down.
Wow, 15 yards going to be marched off. I think Warfield might have been an inch shy. It doesn't matter anymore. Still a terrific run by Warfield on the play. A lot of that was on his own as he was able to bust through tacklers. A late hit, and get this, now you have the 2 turnovers for the Spartans. Coach Smith obviously not going to be happy about that. Also not happy about 8 penalties for 75 yards.
You got to play fundamental football. Obviously, turnovers are part of that, but the mental part of the game is there as well. Some of these penalties that they've gotten have been late hits, things after the whistle, that they just have to clean up. You're not going to be successful against any team when you're making those mistakes and, again, shooting yourself in the foot.
So 1st and 10 now for Shanklin as he will give the ball to Stevens. Left side, nice move, makes a man miss, and then breaks free out to the 25-yard line, maybe the 24. A pickup of 15 yards for Jaden Stevens, and another Festival Foods first down. Stevens now over the century mark.
I was just going to say, Rich, he's got to be over 100 yards. Again, he's an exciting player to watch. Again, he makes the first guy miss, and then on the previous play we saw, he got hit 5 yards before the first down, outran that tackle, ran through another tackle, got close to the first down, and then with the extracurricular enabled him to get the first down. Exciting player, inside and outside runner.
Stevens, 11 carries, 107 yards, and also has the interception that started this drive off. So he has played well both ways, gets another carry, gets more positive yards, falling ahead for 4 yards on first down. Again, really impressed so far tonight with the Madison West Region line, both offensively and defensively. They have controlled the game.
And again, what's as impressive there, Rich, is that these kids are going both ways. We've mentioned it multiple times tonight, 27 kids in uniform for the West Regents. A lot of the same numbers you see on offense and defense and special teams. So we know these kids have to be well conditioned, and they're playing like they got 92 guys on their side, and Memorial only has the 27.
And a testament, too, to Coach Murphy. Again, working with smaller numbers. One thing it does do, at least, as far as technique, is different techniques. Offensive line, defensive line, having to do different things. Stevens, tailback, cornerback is 5 yards, going to be marched off on a delay of game for Madison West here. So these kids are getting, from what I've seen, really good coaching. Less penalties, no turnovers, good disciplined play so far tonight for the Regents.
When you got to play both ways, Rich, you learn what to do on offense and defense because you're playing both positions. So you figure out the strengths and weaknesses and can exploit that a little bit more on each side of the ball.
Feel like we should have an Iron Man trophy to give away at the end of the game tonight as a give to Stevens. Going to be brought down in the backfield. Nice play shooting through that time was Tyson Nash. As a little run blitz action there, Nash was able to fill that gap and get the tackle.
Nash is a sophomore, 5'8", 210-pound defensive tackle. Split the gap there and stopped Stevens in his track. Again, Stevens almost broke out of that tackle, but Nash was just feisty enough to bring him down. Looks like we got another penalty. Or is that yellow shoes I'm seeing out there?
I think that's yellow shoes that time. We've had a lot of penalties here tonight, and Courtesy Ford is loving it because last week we had hardly any. So Courtesy Ford gets their money's worth here tonight. You can get your money's worth at Courtesy Ford. Courtesy Ford, your new truck destination. Rolling right, Shanklin, 3rd down and long, looking for a receiver, running out of time, running out of room, and is chopped down. Well shy of a first down around the 25-yard line.
Well, Shanklin made a good decision not to throw the ball up. He only had really 2 receivers out in the route there. They were both double covered, nowhere to go with it, so he just kept it and ran the ball out of bounds and didn't just throw the ball up for grabs.
Not a loss on the play, so it's not a sack. So I don't get to talk about the Green Bay Packers give back. If it was a sack, I would be saying that the Pack's proud supporters of Wisconsin 57 football, and I would be saying go Pack go, but I'm not going to say that.
Foregoing a 42-yard field goal attempt here for 4th and going for it.
Instead, 4th and long, and now all of a sudden it's Thompson who is back behind center now. And he is looking left. Instead, he's going to bring it down and run. Thought he had some room, but that closes quickly. And a nice job by the Spartans staying home as Sam Jessup right there in the middle would not let Thompson get away.
Well, hopefully that Spartan defense can now spark the offense there. The offense had the turnover with Stevens. They marched down the field and got on the other side in the Spartan territory, but the defense held strong and now give the ball back to their offense to see if they could get it going.
Yeah, they need some kind of spark here tonight. One of the things, Eric Rogers is here as well. He's been working the sidelines. Texts up to me, he goes, I don't think the Spartans have a play of 20 yards or more tonight. He's right. 18 was the longest on the touchdown throw, and so explosive plays have been missing. These big spark plays that can turn momentum, get your confidence going, not happening right now for Memorial. 1st and 10, 25-yard line. Tolman pitches it to Hackbart. He'll try the left side. Not a lot of room there as the Madison West defense very strong on the edge.
And there's most likely a holding penalty on the receiver trying to make that long time period block to get the receiver or to get the running back to the outside edge. And it's going to bring Memorial back 10 yards.
Another courtesy forward flag, and it is another hold and another 10 yards. Man, oh man, these penalties are killing the Spartans here tonight. Well, we told you at the end of the game we do have some stuff going on. We do indeed. Our post-game show is packed. We have our trophy presentations. They include the Brunzell Lumber Offensive MVP, Little Strokes Swim Academy Defensive MVP. We're going to give out our big trophy. And, of course, there is the Hobley clipboard to give out as well. All of that stuff on the line here tonight. And also the way that we see it, the way we kind of see the Big Eight, breaking down, it might be a playoff berth on the line here in week number 2 as well. Couldn't have a bigger football game for you as far as all of that going on. Great stuff here tonight. Spartans need to get something going here now offensively. 1st and 20. Tolman rolling right. Does have pressure as that is closing quickly. He is going to throw it long downfield, a little too tall, as getting his hands on it was Mike Cerniglia. He's a tall receiver out there, long arm, 6'4" for Cerniglia. Was almost able to get that tiptoe on the sidelines.
I don't even think Tolman was throwing it to Cerniglia. Cerniglia was just in the area and saw the ball up in the air and went after it. But like you said earlier, you get yourself behind the chains when you have that penalty, and now you got 2nd and long. You don't have a lot in your playbook for that.
Yeah,
one thing I would try to dial up that I really like is the screen, and if they have something in their bag for that, this is a good time to run it.
We have not seen it so far tonight. Originally, I thought Tolman was trying to throw the ball away on that play, and Cerniglia was almost able to nab it. Yeah, we haven't seen – a lot of times you'll see spread offenses run bubble screens. We have not seen that yet tonight. So if that's in the repertoire, that might get the Regents by surprise. 2nd and 20 now for Tolman. Play action, sitting in the pocket now, stepping up, throwing long, has a man wide open and overshot as turning around twice was Elliott Grays. Holy cow, that was an easy 6.
Well, if Tolman would have been just wouldn't have been flushed out of the pocket, just been able to plant and throw, he probably connects on that. But he ran up into the pocket to avoid a little pass rush, which is good, but then didn't deliver an accurate ball, which, as you've seen, a wide open receiver could have made something happen if he could have caught that.
Before we call 3rd down, let's head back down to the sidelines. Take it away.
All right, taking another break here on the sidelines for Dale's Heating and Air Sideline Report. Been quite the game, and I'm glad to be joined now by Bill Teagham, owner of Little Strokes Swim Academy. And thank you so much for being out here this evening.
Thanks for having me out again. This is awesome. Every Friday night I get to enjoy some high school football. It's pretty cool.
You get a close-up view, too, right here on the sidelines. Now, Bill, you were an athlete back in high school, back in the day, right? What do you think, how did athletics help you in life in general?
Yeah, they helped me in a lot of ways, but I mean, mostly it taught me a really good work ethic. You get up, you got to get your schoolwork done before the school day starts or during the school day, and so you can make that practice that night. When they're 2-a-day practices, you have to be even more frugal with your time. So it taught you a lot of discipline early on, and it definitely helped me out through my career today too.
discipline is important when you're in a youth in this day and age, and really for anybody. Real quick before we go, tell us a little bit about Little Strokes. You're presenting the Defensive MVP Award later in the show after the game. Why do you choose to support, and what's the business about?
Yeah, well, we've been out in Wanakee now for 12 and a half years teaching swim lessons to little kids. It's been a real thrill of a ride. I'm doing what I love every day, and I couldn't be in a better place. So it's pretty cool.
Well, thanks for supporting youth athletics. We'll see Bill later on in the post-game show. We'll get back to the field.
And thank you, Jessa. And what an exciting play once again from Jaden Stevens. You know, I'm not talking about that handoff right there, but the interception on 3rd and long as Toman forced to throw long on another 3rd and long play. And Stevens once again comes down with the interception. That's 2 times in a row.
Yeah, I saw Toman on the sidelines here after the interception with his head down. You know the kid is just trying to make something happen on a 3rd and long play, but you just don't want to just throw the ball up for grabs there at the midfield point, because that just gives West the ball on this side here. But, the kid's trying to make something happen, just got to get his confidence back.
Spartans are 3 for 3 here in the second half. 3 drives, 3 turnovers after having a clean sheet in half number 1. The pitch is going to go out to Stevens. He's going to have another Festival Foods first down. What a game tonight by Jaden Stevens. He might be taking home all the hardware, offensively, defensively. What a player.
I was going to say there's going to be no mystery if West wins this game on who's going to be the MVP, but you got to give a lot of credit to those big uglies up front, the offensive linemen, and the receivers that are blocking downfield, allowing Stevens to get outside the tackle and not have to avoid a defender till he's 5 or 6 yards down the field.
Well, I have a feeling right here as it's red zone territory again for the Regents, this might be the drive of the game. If you're the Spartans and you can't keep them off the scoreboard, it might be game over right here, Mark. First down and 10. Shanklin barks out the signals. He rolls left, looking for anybody. Doesn't have anyone open. Buys himself some more time. Throws late. It's out of bounds as it's knocked away the intended receiver, Jaden Stevens. Why not go to him? He's hot tonight. He has a touchdown catch and has been impressive defensively as well.
They tried that same play there, Rich, that they scored the touchdown on, with Stevens running the corner route and rolling Shanklin out over to that direction. But the Spartan defense did a great job staying with him and not giving Shanklin an open receiver to throw the ball to.
Not that time. Nowhere to go. Stevens couldn't get open. Stevens, by the way, has a touchdown run, a 12-yard touchdown scamper, has a 20-yard touchdown reception, and has 2 interceptions here in the second half, both of them coming on the last 2 Spartan drives. And so Jaden Stevens doing it all. He's in the backfield once again. He's going to get the pitch once again. And now the Spartans finally are keying on him and are able to bring him down. Big loss on second down.
I give a lot of credit to the Spartan defense on that, finally getting somebody out on the pitch man. Again, when you're running against an option team, the outside linebacker is usually responsible for the pitch man. And that time, the Regents didn't do them any favors running that pitch to the short side of the field, but the Spartan defense played that one well.
Absolutely. Loss of 5 on the play for Stevens. 16 carries, 117 yards, a touchdown. Again, the receiving touchdown and the 2 interceptions as well for the Iron Man here this evening. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 coming up for the Regents. Long way to go on this one. They got to get it inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 7. Shanklin going to toss it up. It is a jump ball, and it falls incomplete. The intended receiver out there on the play. That was actually Thompson throwing to Shanklin once again. So they mixed it up. Jump ball for Shanklin. Shanklin thought there might have been some contact out there. No flag, 4th down.
Well, there's no mystery there. When Shanklin lines up as a wide receiver, they're throwing the ball to him. I think he's lined up there 3 or 4 times. They've thrown to him almost every time. So that corner knows for sure they're going to be throwing the ball his way, and he just got to stick on Shanklin and knock the ball down when it comes his way. And they've done it almost every time. Shanklin hasn't caught a pass yet tonight.
Well, we talked about how big this drive was, especially for the Spartans, to keep the Regents off the board. So this might be the biggest play of the game so far. 4th down, 15. The Regents are going to go for it as the ball is on their own 25-yard line. Shanklin, play action, pitches it out to Stevens near sideline. Good gain, but not enough for a first down. Stevens gets 10 out of the 15, but a turnover on downs and a huge stand after another interception for the Spartans. Boy, oh boy, they needed that.
Good play by the Spartan defense there. Again, corralling corralling Stevens before he can get the first down. But again, they've been running that play effectively to the wide side of the field, whether it's to the left or to the right. And the last 2 times they ran it to the short side of the field, they didn't get hardly any yards. So I'm curious as to why they did that on that play when they had the whole left side that they could have gone towards.
A lot more bodies stuffed over there, harder to pick up that yardage. So now the Spartans, goal number 1, hold on to the football. The second goal will be to try and tie this game up. Instead, we're going to have a timeout, and it's taken by the Regents. It's their second timeout here in the second half, so it is a you break, I fix timeout, and we'll take a timeout, step aside with the Regents up 7 in the Westside Bowl on 57 Sports. Toga party in full effect for the Regent faithful that is here at Mansfield Stadium, and they've had a lot to cheer about so far here tonight, especially in the form of Jaden Stevens, Mark, who has been doing it on both sides of the ball.
He's an exciting player. Obviously, he's got inside-outside running capabilities on offense, and he's a ball hawk on defense, so we've seen that twice tonight.
One thing we're also seeing here right now is a quarterback change for the Spartans. Jason Sinidi, he is the backup quarterback, a sophomore. He is in, and he is down as good defensive play by the Regents. Actually, Vassar on the carry picks up a few yards.
You're interesting to see if Coach Smith for the Spartans is just pulling Michael Toman for a series here to kind of get him collected a little bit on the sideline, get him a little bit of a view of what this West defense is doing, and maybe they'll put him back in once he kind of gets under control. Otherwise, maybe number 15 here, Cernity, can spark the Spartan offense and get something going. They're by no means out of it. It's still 14-7 in anybody's ball game.
Yeah, again, those 3 turnovers, including 2 interceptions for Toman, might have earned him some time on the sideline as a sophomore. Cernity steps in. Again, it's been hard to hold on to the football for the Spartans here in the second half, and hard for them to get it going on the ground this time. Great defensive play as shooting through the gap, Zach Mercier with the tackle in the backfield.
You know, as many mistakes as the Spartans have made and the number of penalties that they've had, like I said, they're still in this ball game. It's only a touchdown lead for the West Regents right now. No sense in panicking here. Let's see if they can get something going. They're a little bit in a hole backed up in their red zone, but they're not out of it by any stretch.
Yeah, West has done everything right tonight except deliver that knockout blow. That hasn't happened yet. So 3rd and 10 now as a sophomore. Sinidi rolls left, throws wide open. Cerniglia in the flat. First down yardage. Sinidi connects on 3rd and long for a big Festival Foods first down.
Nice job rolling left. Again, a right-handed quarterback. That's not an easy throw. He was able to get out of the pocket on the sprint out to the left and deliver a strike for a first down. And we'll see if Cernity can keep it going.
And boy, oh boy, do the Spartans need that. It's been a while since they've had a first down, and they're moving the chains here and holding on to the football. All good things for a team. Again, only 1 possession away here. And then, some extracurricular activity, another 15 yards. Marched off for Madison West. So they haven't made a lot of mistakes penalty-wise here tonight, but they do on that one. And right now it's 5 penalties, 15 yards, or 50 yards on the game, marched off against Madison West. That's a big one. 15-yard penalty puts the ball at the 44. As Sinidi out of the shotgun, it gives it up the middle to Vassar. Vassar now has become the workhorse instead of Barrett Hackbarth, and Vassar picks up about 4 yards on first down in what very well is probably the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Number 44, Ty Matthews, came through as a lead blocker as a fullback there. Those guys don't get a lot of publicity, but he cleared the way for.
Always good to mention their names. Everybody likes that, especially their moms and grandmas. As this 3rd quarter has come to a close, 14-7 is our score. West leads Memorial here in the Westside Bowl, presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress. Let's head back down to the sidelines.
All right, thanks to Rich and Mark. We're going to take another break here at the sidelines. It's a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report right at the end of the third. I'm joined now by Mitch McGrath, who is assistant principal for Madison West. So thanks for being with us tonight.
Absolutely. Great to be here.
Yeah, well, we appreciate the hospitality, as it's obviously not your home turf this evening, but certainly your home turf many nights. And I know you guys are getting ready for the start of the school year. What are you looking forward to in the coming week?
Well, every start of the school year is a lot of excitement, and this year we get kind of a double dose. We start the year off with our freshman orientation day on September 5th with just freshmen, and we finish that week off. Then our second week of the year is actually homecoming week. And so that Friday night, September 15th, 9 days into school year, we have our homecoming football game and our homecoming dance that Saturday.
Wow, you guys hit the ground running, so sounds like a big start to the school year. You've got some new things going on in school this year. Let's talk about that.
Definitely. Probably the biggest change at West High is we're under new leadership with our new principal, Dr. Karen Brand. She's comes from Chicago, from Hancock High School, brings great perspective, and she's going to have fresh eyes on West High this fall, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely, and obviously a longtime rivalry here. You consider it a friendly one?
Yes, it's a friendly rivalry. The kids out here, they've known each other since flag football, region football, Spartans, and yeah, a lot of them are friends, but they want to win.
You bet. Well, lots of excitement for you guys at Madison West. Thanks for being with us tonight.
You bet.
All right, guys, we've got more football for you. We'll go back to you.
Thank you very much, Jessel, alongside former Badger quarterback Mark Martinez. I am Rich Reynolds. Hey, we got another barn burner here as we are in the fourth quarter now, 14-7. West is on top, and a 3rd down and 5 for Jason Sanidi and company as the sophomore has taken over at quarterback for Michael Toman here late in the game. Gibbs going to be up the middle and not fooling anyone. On the draw play there to Vassar, and staying on home once again, we see Javon Enox.
I think that was Maravilla with the tackle. The linebacker came slicing through and made a great tackle there to prevent the first down.
And that was big. That stalls the Spartan drive, and Moore is going to come on to punt once again. So the Madison West defense up to the challenge here. Now, we talked about how this game, if we look at the stats, you look at the turnovers, 3 turnovers by Memorial, none for the Regents. A lot more yards on the ground, a lot more total yards for the Regents instead of the Spartans. You would think this is a more lopsided game. We only have a 1-score game here, though, Mark, as the Regents have yet to deliver that knockout blow.
The Spartans did have that one interception just before halftime.
Oh,
they
that's
took
right.
the ball over at the 5-yard line on the penalty, but it was just as good as a punt trying to go for it there.
That's correct. 3 turnovers, 1. Forgot about that one. West had a chance to score right there. Good point. As the punt goes out of bounds. And let's see, field position is about the 30-yard line for Madison West. Again, big thank you to A-1 Furniture and Mattress, our presenting sponsor. A-1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier mattress and furniture store. Also, thank you to Cricket Wireless. They brought us our national anthem. They have friends and family mobile plans from Cricket, 5 lines, $100 a month. Switch to Cricket and get more for less. 1st and 10 for Keyshawn Shanklin. And the give's going to be to the fullback Warfield up the middle, changes direction, gets good 1st down yardage as we are going back down to the sidelines once again.
We're taking a break from the game with a Dale's Heating and Air sideline report. And with me now, I have Jen Kerwin. She's not only a teacher at Madison Memorial, but she's also a part of the Booster Club. You guys have been working hard over at the concession stand tonight. Thanks for taking a break and being with us.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys do and the money that you raise, what that goes towards.
So this year we were able to remodel 2 of our locker rooms with the booster money that we have earned. We're also using some of the money to supplement some of the transportation costs along with redoing our tennis courts.
That's really fantastic, and I just love that it supports so many different types of athletes, you know, all throughout all the seasons at the school. And we kind of have to brag on you a little bit here, too, because you're coming up on your 19th year with Madison Memorial, which I think is so amazing. But what changes have you seen, or what things stay the same throughout those 19 years?
I think the student body still coming out to support our sporting events has always been the same, and it's really awesome to see it.
So much great energy here tonight. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll head back to the game.
Thank you.
By the way, Ellen, I think is a little too geared up for this game. Jacket? Really? In August? My goodness, Ellen. She should do more dancing, as the give is going to be to Warfield. Did you see Armani Warfield power his way to a first down on that one? What a tough run for Warfield.
Looked like Larry Zonka there back in the day, Rich, just putting your shoulder pads down, trying to get lower level. Might have knocked the wind out of the defender there. We've got some people out in the field taking a look at that guy right now.
Wow, that is a powerful run, and Zonka was a great reference right there. A big Festival Foods first down, and hopefully everybody's okay out there. We'll check on the injured Spartan and come back for more. We're at Mansfield Stadium for the West Side Bowl, presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress and 57 Sports. Well, the injured Spartan was Ty Matthews, the senior linebacker, and he was run over by Armoni Warfield. It was nice, though, that Matthews got up. He kind of popped up then and ran off after being plowed under on a bruising run by the Region fullback.
Looked like he might have taken a stinger in the shoulder with that helmet by Warfield, but it looks like he's going to be none worse for the wear.
Yeah, those stingers sometimes can be a little bit surprising. You go numb there for a second, kind of a strange feeling, but Matthews seemed to be okay and trotted off the field just fine. So that's good stuff. As a clock issue here this time, as they're looking to wind the clock. It should be running once that ball is set after the first down by the Regents. That was a big first down right there, as now they get a chance to run off some more clock. But I think what Coach Murphy's going to want more than anything on this drive is some points. Points would finish off the game right here. And another victory for West if they can get him. The give is to Stevens, tries to bounce it outside, runs with some power and authority as well. Would not go down as he refused to be pushed down to the ground on the near sideline.
Rich, I do have a score update in regards to two of the top teams in the Big 8 Conference, what could be termed as the Cardinal Bowl. Sun Prairie up 27-6 over the Middleton Cardinals at Sun Prairie tonight.
Holy cow. So Sun
Two
Prairie and
teams
Middleton
ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, both those teams expected to vie for the Big 8 championship. We talked about this being a big game in the Big 8 because the winner probably has an inside track to a playoff berth. That one, it's conference championship that everybody's talking about for the Cardinal Bowl there tonight. So interesting score update. As on second down, they give us to Warfield. And again, he bruises ahead. He was stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down, dragged defenders along with him. A gain of 7, another Festival Foods first down, and impressive running here in the second half by the Regents.
And what's as impressive, Rich, is that we talked about it all night. 27 kids suited up for the Regents, and it seems like the Regents, 3.5 quarters into it, have just as much conditioning, and they're ready to go. And the Spartans look like the team that could be wearing down.
You know, we've expected them all night long to be tired, to be dragging here in the fourth quarter. We talked about it even off camera at halftime. Like, hey, you know, West can win this game, but that's if they don't wear down. They're not wearing down. If anything, it looks like the line play is getting stronger. Great game so far tonight for the Regents, looking to put the cherry on top of the Sunday. They run option to Warfield, and Warfield makes a man miss, goes ahead, pickup of 12, another first down, and boy, oh boy, Armani Warfield has really been impressive here in the second half, getting big chunks of yardage, a lot of it yards after contact.
So I can see how they have their options set up. They have Stevens running the option to the right because he's the left tailback, and they have Armani running the option to the left because he's the right tailback. Doesn't have quite as much speed, but he gets his shoulders going north and south, and he can run some guys over, which we just saw the last couple times he's carried the ball.
224 yards on the ground unofficially tonight for the Regents. That is impressive stuff. And Coach Smith talked about how He liked his defense, thought his defense performed well against Middleton. They are getting overpowered here tonight. And a big part of it is Jaden Smith picking his way ahead, and a touchdown saving tackle by Mike Cerniglia as Stevens broke out into the open, brings it down to the 12-yard line, a pickup of 20, and another Festival Foods first down.
These Regent running backs can start smelling the end zone right about now, Rich. You can see they're running with just a little extra gusto. Their line's blocking for a little bit longer, and they got the lather going, as Barry Alvarez used to say when Ron Dane ran the ball. Get the big boy lathered up, and this rushing attack for the Regents definitely are lathered up right now.
And how good does that feel on offense when you know you can impose your will on a defense? They cannot stop you. It is a tough feeling on D to have that much power coming at you that's coming in the way of Stevens and Warfield. Now it's Stevens trying the right side, inside the 5-yard line, down to the 4. Maybe a late hit. No, as Stevens powers ahead near the 4, maybe 3-yard line, as there is another courtesy forward flag down there instead of a late hit. I think that is in the area of holding, and it is once again going against the Regents. If they've done one thing wrong, I guess, tonight, it's been holding calls. That is their 4th holding penalty, and it always happens on those stretched out run plays.
Well, they got 2 receivers out there blocking one guy. Again, they've been doing a great job all night to give the outside receivers for the Regents a lot of credit. They're not catching a lot of balls tonight, but they're opening holes and blocking their guys. And on that one, a lot of times, Rich, when you're blocking a guy, you kind of get your hands on their breastplate, on their shoulder pads, and you can grab a little bit of jersey there. And as he's trying to wriggle away, you hang on to that a little too long. The refs see the jersey pull away, and they caught him on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has been the thing for Madison West tonight. These penalties have been drive killers, almost every one of these holding penalties, and it's why it's only a 1-score game at this point, because West has dominated play so far here tonight, but it's only a 14-7. The Spartans still in it. Their defense needs to make a stand. Bad snap, and then taking a knee is Shanklin, and for whatever reason, I'm not understanding why, he was down, gave himself up. Trevor Jones came in off the edge and pushed him. Why would you do that?
The optimist in me says that the kid didn't think he was down, thought he might start running again, and just made sure he didn't go anywhere. But again, you know, sometimes mentally you just have to pay a little bit more attention in the game so you don't make mistakes like that. Instead of being second and long, you're giving them 10 yards and putting them in position to score here.
10 penalties for 100 yards for the Spartans to go along with 3 turnovers. Lots of miscues here tonight. Coach Smith talked about it in the pregame. They looked at the tape. They wanted to clean some of this stuff up. He's going to have a lot more tape to talk about with his guys this weekend. So it is now 2nd down and 10 to give up to Stevens up the middle. Tries to break through, but good tackling that time. And nice to see Matthews back into the game. Ty Matthews making a tackle. 3rd down coming up for the Regents.
I was just going to say, Rich, that was a great form tackle by Matthews. Like you said, good to see the kid back in there after he had the stinger and was down for a second and had to come out for an injury. He's back in there plugging up the holes in the middle at that middle linebacker position and did a good job preventing Stevens from scoring a touchdown.
Jaden Stevens, 21 carries, 158 yards on the night, including a touchdown. Big play right here. 3rd and long coming up. We'll call it 3rd and 9 for the Regents. This is the one that they need to get. Clock ticking, nearly 6 minutes, and another courtesy forward flag and a delay of game once again. This is the 2nd one on the Regents here tonight, and that one almost seems unforgivable. You got to get to the line and get that play off.
Well, this whole drive, Rich, they've been watching the back judge here and making sure to chew up clock to try to get that clock to wind down, but they waited a little too long. You can't wait quite that long and cost yourself 5 yards and take you out of position here.
3rd and 9 now becomes 3rd and 14. So the Regents can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. They got to get the ball, though, to about the 2-yard line. So we'll see what Coach Murphy and the Regents decide to dial up here. 2 wide receivers, Shanklin, shotgun formation once again. And another flag, and I think it's another delay. It's another delay of game. Wow. So another courtesy Ford flag, and it has been the flags, especially here in the second half, knocking the Regents back. That is now 5 penalties in the second half. Overall, they have 8 penalties, 7 yards. Courtesy Ford getting their money's worth here tonight.
I think Shanklin looked to change the play there at the last second. He saw something in the defensive formation that he thought he could take advantage of. He looked like he was going to check out of the play that they were in to something else. But unfortunately, he wasn't watching the back judge again and had a delay. Game penalty cost him 5 yards.
Well, we'll see if Coach Murphy plays it safe here or not, or rolls the dice. Shanklin has time, throws over the middle, and incomplete. Good hit in the secondary that time, provided by Vassar. So we've seen him as a fullback. Now we see him as a defensive back. Lays the wood on the pass over the middle, and it falls incomplete. Brings up a 4th down, and it looks like now it's field goal time for Madison West.
Shanklin had his receiver open. He delivered the ball a little late over the middle, which is never a good thing. Like you said, Vassar came up and put a hit on the receiver. If he throws that ball a little earlier when the guy's just getting down the seam there, he could catch it and run.
So another flag down, as what it looks like was going to be about a 37-yard attempt is going to go back 5 more yards. And boy, at 42 yards, that's a pretty long attempt. That could be by Lupe Casper, excuse me.
Unfortunately, the Regents had 12 guys in their huddle, and the guy came running off the field after that. He can't line up 12 guys.
Wow.
It's illegal participation, so it's going to mark him back another 5 yards and turn a 37 into a 42-yard field goal.
This drive has gone backwards for the Regents. Now a 42-yard attempt. If they hit it, it's huge, as it becomes a 2-score game. If not, and another flag. And I'm not sure what this is, as before everybody becomes
They got
set.
12 guys again out there.
All right, somebody's got to be able to count right here. As a coach, I think I would lose my mind, as it would now be a 47-yard kick. And I think at this point, you're going to have to punt. Holy cow. It's an unbelievable turn of events right here.
That's why coaches have a big bottle of antacids.
Whew. 2 delay of game penalties, 2 illegal substitution penalties, 20 yards backwards to go along with a holding penalty on the same drive. And what it did is cost the Regents. Now someone's coming in late. Not sure if this is a substitution error. They didn't have enough guys out on the field. Now that seems remedied, and a long field goal now becomes a short punt. That goes straight into the end zone. And just like that, the Spartans will take over at the 20-yard line. And believe it or not, with 5:59 left in the game, they are still in it. 14-7 our score. West with the lead. We'll be back for more from the West Side Bowl on 57 Sports. Unbelievable turn of events. It looked like Madison West was going to go in for a dagger of a score. Instead, 4 straight penalties. And instead, the Spartans now have the ball after the punt. They give it to Vassar. Vassar can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Good surge that time by the West defense, as still in the football game for the Spartans at quarterback is Sanidi.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Michael Toman, the senior quarterback, who was inconsistent for most of the game, was taken out. And they put the sophomore in. I thought maybe they might put him in for just a drive to clear Toman's head. But they look like they're going with Sanidi for the rest of the game, seeing if the sophomore can spark them in the final 5 minutes of this game and tie this thing up.
Toman, 5 of 11, had 2 interceptions on the day, so another tough day for the quarterback. That's 2 weeks in a row. Now Sanidi running out of time, and he will be dragged down. It is a Green Bay Packers give back quarterback sack, as this West defense is fired up.
Well, they pitched a shutout last week, and admittedly, Rich, Beloit Memorial is not a powerhouse offensively, so to pitch a shutout against them might not be that impressive, but against this Memorial offense, which we know can score some points, this West defense is looking good. And again, an undermanned West team is just pinning their ears back and playing great defense tonight.
The only touchdown drive that the West defense surrendered came in the second quarter, and it's where the Spartans started with a short field at the West 45-yard line after a short punt. So now a timeout by the Spartans. It is their first. Let's break as well. It is a you break, I fix timeout. It is 14-7 West. This is the West Side Bowl presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress, and this is Wisconsin's 57 Sports. I think if we were going to have a toga party at my house, I'd have to go out and buy white sheets. We don't have white sheets.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Forget about it. He's on a roll. Yeah, exactly. I would have colorful sheets. We got all printed sheets, I believe, in our house, or gray. I don't know what the colors are. Anyways, 14-7 is our score. The kids are having a toga party from Madison West. It's a party in generals. They're up by 7, looking to go to 2-0 on the season. The Spartans trying to stop them here. Sanidi dropping back, looks near side, connects. Good move out in the flats, and near first down yardage is Cade Ellingson, his first catch of the night. And boy, I thought he was going to be much shorter than that. Instead, it's going to be 4th and 2 on a pickup of 13.
Clock's running down, 4th down. I got about a good yard to go for a first down. Wonder if they might want to take a timeout here and talk things over.
They are going to go for it here on 4th down and 2. Coach Smith rolls the dice against this stingy West defense. Looks like West going to bring the heat. Warfield coming on the blitz. Another blitzer as well. And Sanidi's down. Pressure brought that time by Madison West. Sanidi could do nothing with it. It is a Green Bay Packers give-back sack. And bigger than that, it's a turnover on downs for the Spartans. And Madison West has everything going their way right now.
And what's extremely impressive, Rich, and you know, last year and the last several years I coached 8-man football. I'm used to seeing the same guys on offense play on defense in 8-man. You don't see it quite as much in the 11-man game. Maybe 3 or 4 guys will play both ways, but I'm looking down at that West defense, and you got 7, 8, 9 guys playing offense and defense, and they're playing defense at a high level there to shut down this Memorial offense and then shut down this pretty much game-winning drive here. Is very impressive Regent defense.
You called them, Mark. All the same numbers we're calling on offense, we're calling them again on D. And these guys are doing a great job. They have a 7-point lead, and they're looking to finish off the Spartans right now. From the 23, they give us to Stevens. Big hole. He bursts out in the open. 10-5. Touchdown, Regents. Jaden Stevens, 3rd touchdown of the night. And that is the nail in the coffin on the You Moved Me touchdown.
He looks like Samson around with those flocks of hair flowing while he's running through that Spartan defense. Don't cut your hair, Stevens.
I love it. 181 yards, a 23-yard touchdown. His 2nd touchdown run of the night. He has a touchdown reception as well. Jaden Stevens with 2 interceptions. He has been everywhere this evening for Madison West, and got to give some credit to the offensive line too. Big hole for Stevens to run through. The extra point is good. Wow. Line drive kick barely got all over the crossbar. It looks pretty in the box score. 21-7 is our brand new score. We're back for more from Mansfield Stadium on 57 Sports. (21-7) our new score. Madison West was looking for that clinching score. I think they got it on a 23-yard run by Jaden Stevens. Had a big hole to run through, changed direction, used his speed, power, got into the end zone, and boy, what a day for Stevens. 22 carries, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also has a reception for 20 yards and a touchdown. Has 2 big interceptions on defense, and now a great kickoff by Lupe Casper, puts it out of the end zone, touchback, and Madison West right now is one pumped up team, and I am really impressed by Brad Murphy and what he's doing with such a small, undermanned roster. He's got them playing at a very high level.
And we mentioned it all night, Rich. They got 27 kids in uniform tonight. One thing that the regions do that one teams that the regions don't do that most teams do is suit up anybody who could be eligible to be on that sideline. They only want the kids that are going to be playing suited up.
Very good job indeed by Murphy and company. It's Sneedy still in at quarterback, going to work, rolls right, incomplete, as good defense once again by Madison West. And they are just not giving up any big plays. They've given up some yardage tonight, but no big plays from this defense.
Stevens almost had a hat trick there. He just about intercepted that ball on the sidelines, and that would have put a capper on his extremely good night tonight. Iron Man, as you said earlier, offense and defense, just an impressive young man out there tonight.
Absolutely, and when we have our offensive MVP award presented by Brunzel Lumber and the Little Stroke Swim Academy defensive MVP, his name might come up more than once. He has been that good here tonight. Completed pass out in the flats, but a great tackle. Zach Mercer, I tell you what, this kid, it wasn't even on our roster. I had a parent come up to me, tell me 24 is going to be playing. He's a sophomore, he's this, he's that. He's been impressive, and that was a great tackle out in space.
And what I was mentioning, Rich, earlier is oftentimes you'll see teams that have 70, 80, 90 guys on the sideline. They'll bring up freshmen and sophomore just to make their sideline look a bit better. The West coaches said, we got a couple other kids we could have put on the sideline, but they weren't going to play, so we didn't bring them along. And that's why they only have 27 guys suited up partially.
Rewarding those kids here tonight, and they're rewarding Coach Murphy with one heck of an effort. 3rd and long, Sanidi dropping back under pressure, looks over the middle, has Moore, who juggles it a couple of times, but has the catch and is up ahead of the 45 to the 46-yard line. 24 yards of Festival Foods, first down, and a nice pitch and catch.
Impressive throw by the sophomore Sanidi. Again, he's a sophomore, 5'10", 175-pound quarterback who's subbing in for Toman there. Delivered a nice ball to his receiver there. If he catches that and doesn't bobble it, he could have been off to the races.
Instead, it goes for 24 yards. Sanidi picks up a much-needed first down, as first downs have been hard to come by here for the Spartans in the second half. Sanidi looks left this time, a little too tall for the outstretched arms of Elliott Grays, and it's going to bring up second down. If anything, though, I got to say this, Sanidi so far tonight, 4 of 6 tossing the ball. He looks a little bit more comfortable tossing the ball than Toman did. Toman looked a little bit rushed, a little unsure of himself.
Yeah, you gotta like the poise of this sophomore. I was watching him in pregame warm-ups. He puts a pretty good zip on the ball. He probably just needs a little seasoning, getting a little bit more playing time, and maybe he'll bump Toman from the starting now. But I'm sure Toman, as a senior, will bounce back.
And you would expect a senior to do so, as a timeout taken by Madison West. That's their last timeout. It's a U-break, I-fix timeout. 21-7 is our score. Again, a lot of stuff coming up in our post-game show. We got trophies aplenty to give away here tonight. We got our big game trophy for the West Side Bowl to give out, our offensive MVP, defensive MVP, those brought to us by Brunzel Lumber and Little Stroke Swim Academy respectively. And then we also have the clipboard trophy that is going to be happening as well. So a lot of stuff. You're going to want to stick around for all of that. And next week, I had it right here in front of me. I think we are back in the Badger Conference next week. Does that sound right? Schedule-wise, I had the schedule in front of me. See what I do? I had a good thought in my head.
I got it right here, Rich. It's Edgewood at Stoughton.
Edgewood at Stoughton. So we are back. This time we're going to be Badger Southing it, as we will have Edgewood at Stoughton. We were at Stoughton last year, treated very well. Nice stadium that they got down there, and a football program that's on the rise.
It certainly is. They're part of the Badger South, and they're expected to compete for the conference title there. They got a couple of really good athletes I'm excited to watch next week.
Badger South a little wide open, although that team from Monroe would contend with that, as Sanidi throws long down the middle, has a man, and it is dropped. Cade Ellingson was open and going in for 6 and just forgot the football as it was put on the money by Sanidi on a good deep throw.
Wow. That was a great ball by the sophomore. If he catches that, they score a touchdown with 2 minutes to go. They're still in this ball game here.
That ball traveled about 50 yards in the air, and there was a man in Sanidi's face, too. Put it on the money, and Ellingson did everything right except put the pigskin in his arms. Unbelievable there. So a good break there for Madison West. 2:24 left in the game. 3rd down and long. Sanidi drops back. has time, now being flushed from the pocket, rolls right, going to try and sprint for it as he is going to be real close. As he turned the corner, I thought he was going to get hit. Instead, moves straight ahead and might be just shy of the marker. Hard to see from here, but a nice scramble by Sanidi.
Yeah, he really tiptoed down the sidelines there, Rich, and got himself to a point where they can make a nice fourth down conversion here, keep this drive going. Surprised they're not huddling up, or why they are huddling up and not getting on the ball here.
Time is the enemy of the Spartans here. Fourth down, and we'll call it 1. They have to pick it up or the game is over. It's Sanidi just falling ahead. Quarterback sneak, looks like he got it, and he does. Big Festival Foods first down, and then a late flag again. Wow, we have had flags aplenty here. A courtesy Ford flag one more time, and we'll see what the call is. As, boy, we've had just about everything here today. A lot of delay of games, illegal substitutions, holdings, late hits. This one is going to be a personal foul against Madison West. Wow.
It might be a little too late, but you still don't like seeing that late in the game. Again, self-inflicted penalties and miscues on both sides of the ball for teams. Again, these are things that the coaches are going to want to clean up if they're going to make a playoff run. Both West, and if Memorial's going to come back from an 0-2 deficit, they're going to have to clean some of those things up.
Believe it or not, that is the 8th penalty against West here in the second half, 11th in the game. As there's also been 10 calls against Madison Memorial, 21 flags here tonight. Last week we had 2. That's a big difference. As Sanidi going to have to take off once again. Nothing open downfield, but the sophomore doing a good job of keeping his head, picking up 9 yards. And a timeout going to be taken here by Coach Smith and the Spartans.
Sanidi just seems a little bit more decisive than Toman was earlier. Toman looked like he was thinking a little bit too much, a little unsure of where to go with it. This kid is just, if there's no receivers open, he's just getting upfield, and if they are, he's delivering strikes.
And so many more times, too, discretion is a better part of valor, and we saw what happened when Toman tried to force the issue. It turned into interceptions. Sanidi has not done that, has not turned the ball over. And I think, maybe going forward, this might be something that Coach Smith has to take into account. It has been troubling for him, the amount of turnovers his team has had, and you got to be able to hold on to the football to win football games.
Absolutely. Like I said, turnover margin is a huge factor in whether you can win a ball game or not. And when you're on the opposite side of what you want from a turnover perspective, it's really hard to dig yourself out of the holes. And then when you tack on the penalties that you've had over and over throughout tonight's ball game, you're really climbing an uphill battle to try to go towards victory against a good West team.
3-1 the turnover margin. The Spartans have turned it over thrice. 3 wide receivers to the left. Sanidi on second down, looks left, lofts it up into the end zone, and nearly intercepted. Nearly a touchdown, nearly a pick. Good play on both ends right there as the Madison West defense once again up to the challenge.
Keyshawn Shanklin, again, the quarterback on offense, is back there playing defense, knocking down a pass. He's a pretty good defensive player, too, and you can see he's getting up a little bit slowly. He's probably tired, been playing both ways all game long, but he made a great play on the ball there and almost iced it with an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely love the way he has played tonight, the way Stevens has played both ways, Warfield, Enox. I mean, you name it. There are guys all over here doing a great job playing both ways here tonight for Coach Murphy. Third down now. Sanidi's got to pick this up. It's 3rd and 2. 3 wide receivers to the left. He's looking left now, comes back right, throws it into the end zone, nearly intercepted as great coverage out there again by the Regents, going to force a 4th down.
Obviously, the Regents know the Spartans have to throw the ball, so they're just back there playing good one-on-one coverage and making a play on the ball there. Sanidi throws a pretty good ball. He's pretty consistent throwing that ball. He delivers it on a strike. Sometimes, the defense just makes a little bit better play, though.
4th and 2. Huge play here on both sides. And now Sanidi in the backfield with Vassar does have 4 wide receivers as pressure right away, but Sanidi is going to run straight up the middle inside the 5-yard line, buries his head, pulls forward near the goal line, going to be stopped about a yard shy, maybe 2, but Sanidi picks up another first down and keeps the drive alive with 54 seconds left. He's made some good decisions to keep this drive going.
And the clock stops with the first down, Rich, but you got to get up and run that play. If you're going to have any chance for an onside kick here, anything sort of a Hail Mary towards the end, you got to punch this ball in really quickly.
First and goal from the 2 now. Sinidi's going to come under center. He's going to try to sneak it in up the middle, as it looks like the Spartans think they have it. No signal yet.
Clock's running.
And yeah, the clock's running all this time, as this is dangerous. Only one more timeout for Memorial, and they're going to have to burn it right here. So they're held shy. Sinidi doesn't score. And that's the danger if you end up doing that and don't pass the ball into the end zone on that play. Okay, well, Coach Smith is going to talk it over. We will as well. A U-break, I-fix timeout. We'll come back for the conclusion of the Westside Bowl, presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports. Good look inside the Spartan huddle there as they talk strategy with second and goal from the 1 yard line. Down 14, 34 seconds left. Coach, what are you dialing up as a play right here?
Well, I'm out of timeouts here, so, unless I have a Tim Tebow type at quarterback, I'm probably not going to goose it. I'm going to throw the ball so that if it's incomplete, the clock stops.
Clock has to be a factor here. West showing blitz. They bring the pressure and a bad snap all the way over Sinidi's head. He's got to try to get that football. There's a pile up for it. If West has it, the game is over, as it is another Spartan turnover, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. Sinidi drives the ball all the way down. A bad snap about 5 feet over his head. Goes all the way back to the 25-yard line, and that is going to do it. Madison West is 2-0.
Well, I hate to say it and be negative, but kind of apropos on the whole night for the Spartans here offensively. They do some good things. They seem to take 1 step forward and 2 steps back as soon as they would get any sort of momentum going, whether it was a turnover or a penalty or a miscue that they had. And obviously the bad snap cost them from getting a late score here.
4th turnover in the second half. Last year in this game, 6 turnovers by Madison West really cost them. The 4 here tonight, all killers, every single one. And Madison West came in here and wins. They're now 2-0 as Memorial falls to 0-2. We look ahead for Madison West next week. They're on the road. They're at Memorial. Then they go to Verona. I mean, a tough gauntlet there. But I got to say, if the Regents, the way they played here tonight, what if they come away with 1 win out of those 2 games? Boy, they're all of a sudden now looking ahead as maybe saying, maybe we're a contender in this conference.
Absolutely. You do worry about their depth, and if they have any key injuries to some of those great playmakers that they don't have a lot of depth behind them with only having 27 kids. But again, offensively, they were able to get the ball on the edge. Defensively, they played stout up the middle. Again, just really impressive with a lot of kids going both ways.
Playmakers aplenty. Shanklin, Stevens, Warfield, so much. I mean, absolutely impressive night and a big win for the Madison West Regents. Our final score, Madison West 21, Madison Memorial 7. Stick around as we have our post-game show coming up. We got our trophy presentations. We got our Jacobson Brothers Gym plays of the game, that and much more. Don't go anywhere as you are watching the West Side Bowl presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress right here on 57 Sports.
And that's the end of the game for the A-1 Furniture and Mattress West Side Bowl. Madison West 21, Madison Memorial 7.
What a game here on the sidelines.
So much
we
fun.
sure have enjoyed it. There's been some great plays tonight, and we've got some awards to give out on behalf of those great plays, thanks to Little Strokes Swim Academy. He'll be here, actually owner, to give away the Defensive MVP Award and also an award, Offensive MVP, thanks to Brensell Lumber. So it's all here on the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series post-game show. We're going to give away the Big Bronze Beauty as well.
So excited.
Stick around for after the break. We'll be right back.
21-7 is our final score. Madison West improves to 2-0, while Madison Memorial falls to 0-2 on the very young season. Time for us now to go back and check out the Jacobson brothers' plays of the game. There were a bunch of them as we look offensively for Madison West. It started a lot with that man right there, Jaden Stevens.
He ran with power, he ran with speed, he ran inside and outside, and really did a great job for the Regents tonight.
Back the other way, Vassar had some strong runs out of the fullback spot. In fact, he became the workhorse. And then a nice toss here. Tolman finds Grays for a score. At that point, we're tied at 7. We had a pretty even game. But look at this here, a pick right before halftime. Madison West had some plays that kind of set them back, mostly penalties and that one pick. But then taking a look, it is Stevens as a receiver in the end zone, maneuvers, takes in the pass from Shanklin, 14-7 West there, and then another nice run here by Stevens. Stevens tonight over 180 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions on defense, had the receiving touchdown, and then here, the icer as he breaks it up the middle, 23 yards, and the touchdown. That capped it off for our Jacobson brothers plays of the game. Mark, an impressive win here tonight for Madison West.
It certainly was, and we talked about Jaden Stevens all night, both sides, the ball rushing, inside, outside, and playing defense. But the defensive and offensive line for the West did a great job. Maravilla, their middle linebacker, is a tackling machine back there. Shanklin's playing both ways. Armani's playing both ways. And just an impressive feat overall to see 27 kids out there giving out their heart to win Bert Hobley's clipboard trophy that they hand out for the winner between the Memorial and West game.
And a lot more trophies for us to give out. We will do that next. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the West Side Bowl presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress on 57 Sports.
Welcome back to the A1 Furniture and Mattress, A1 Furniture High School Football Bowl Series. We are at the West Side Bowl, and if you're just joining us, Madison West just defeated Madison Memorial. Quite the game. We are about to give away an MVP award.
Yes, so excited. This is our defensive MVP, and I'm really excited to introduce Little Stroke Swim Academy, who is the sponsor of this award, and I'm going to let you hand this off yourself.
Hey. Jaden Stevens, quite the game tonight. Here's your Defensive Player of the Game award. 2 picks, not too shabby. All right, good work.
And stay tuned. We'll be back with the Offensive MVP award as well, and this was brought to you by Little Stroke Swim Academy.
High School Football Bowl Series. We're at the West Side Bowl, and if you're just tuning in, we have given away the Defensive MVP award to this fine gentleman here, Jaden Stevens, who is about to get another award.
Oh man, this doesn't happen very often. This is super exciting. This is the Offensive MVP award brought to you by Brunzell Lumber. Really excited to give this to you. You worked hard for it. Congratulations. And stay tuned.
A lot of team support.
Yes, and stay tuned. We'll be back giving away the A1 Furniture West Side Bowl trophy right after this.
Welcome back to the A1 Furniture and Mattress High School Football West Side Bowl. If you're just tuning in, Madison West just defeated Madison Memorial, and it was quite the game.
It was a heck of a game, and that means you guys get to have one heck of a trophy tonight, brought to you by A1 Furniture. So we're going to hand this off to you, Coach, and we're going to let Rich and Mark come in. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to ask you a couple of questions here. I tell you what, real impressive game. I'm not sure, though, which I was more impressed with, either your ground game or your defense, but both of them seem to be set up by really good line play tonight. You guys dominated with the line play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, we have some tremendous seniors on the defensive line, and we got great juniors too on our offensive line. So we're fortunate to have that. Super proud of our kids. I battled through injuries tonight. We don't have a lot of people, as everybody knows, and these kids just kept on fighting. That's exactly what you have to do in this game. So we couldn't be happier.
Jaden Stevens was a monster on offense and defense tonight. Talk about the night that he had and your team overall.
Yeah, Jaden's a heck of a player for us. We knew we were going to ride him hard this year. We're going to continue to do that. It's not a secret. You know, we got a 1-2 punch with him and Armani in the backfield, and we got a pretty nice quarterback too. So we're going to keep on, you know, moving forward with all this stuff.
Couple of tough road tests now as a Big 8 schedule doesn't get any easier for you guys. How do you carry this momentum forward now, your 2-0 start, as you go and play Middleton and Verona?
Yeah, I think the key is to just keep preaching to the kids to get better each day. We have a lot of things to clean up from this game. If we can correct those mistakes, you know, we should be able to play with anybody, and that's what we got to stay focused on. We'll get back to work tomorrow at 9 a.m., so I'm looking forward to it.
We talked about your limited numbers. It's not quantity, it's the quality you have here. But with this, what kind of conditioning do you do with these guys so that they were just as fresh in the fourth quarter as they were in the first quarter?
We do a lot of game type stuff for our conditioning. We don't do a lot of gassers or anything like that. I'm not a big believer in that. So these kids, we were very fortunate to play Monona Grove in our scrimmage, and they kicked our butts. And the best thing that happened is we got to rework a lot of things. Our kids are in better shape. They're tougher minded. We're 2-0, so we feel good right now.
Absolutely.
Coach, terrific start. Congratulations on a great win. Yep, appreciate it. Great job, guys. Very impressive here tonight. Madison West 2-0, and they win the West Side Bowl here tonight, presented by A-1 Furniture and Mattress.
Who's out? Who's out?
Wow, this is a fired up bunch. We're going to see them later on this year. Big thank you to everybody. Great camera work. Great job by directing, guys. And great job, Mark Martinez. For him, for Jessa, for Ellen, I am Rich Reynolds. We will see you next week right here in the A1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.